Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hello, and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for more Euro 2020 action. We are now at the final 2 days of round of 16 football, the halfway mark, I guess you could say, of the early section of the knockout stages, and this should be a corker of a match to start a fantastic evening, which involves two former winners of the competition. First up, Croatia taking on Spain, a team which nearly 10 years ago were the dominant forces of European football. They come up against a team that have become one of the potential dominant forces of football in Croatia, who made that final of the 2018 World Cup, which feels like a long, long time ago, doesn't it, in comparison to the world today. And then, of course, another match coming up later on this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are in the world. We've got France up against Switzerland. Should be a real corker of a game. That's going to be covered with Mr. Kieran L later on tonight. But first of all, I want to say a big welcome to everybody. How are we all doing on this very, very fine Monday afternoon of action? And what a game we have in store. As I said, two sides of incredible worth in the world of international football. One team which has had its history and one team which has been making its history. We should be on course for a very exciting game with two teams that did actually face off against each other at the Euros back in 2016, no doubt. Again, it should be a real mouth-watering fixture between these two sides. But my name is Josh, and for those of you that are new to the stream, welcome along. It isn't just me on the channel. We've got a whole host of us covering all of the games throughout the Euros, so don't forget, if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel if you are new. And if you are one of the regulars, welcome along as always. Good to see you all in the stream for what should be a very good day of action. But first of all, let's talk about this game, Croatia-Spain. We'll go through the lineups in a second. I personally think that this has the potential to be one of the most open-ended games of this knockout stage period of the round of 16. Two teams that arguably were very disappointing in the group stages, only realistically turned up on the final game of their groups. Spain, very tricky of course, but then got a dominant victory, a 5-0 victory against Slovakia. As for Croatia, pretty dominant victory themselves, good win against Scotland, but they also know that they've got to come out there today and put in a much better performance. And when you look at the media sides of both of these teams, Spain under a lot of pressure from the Spanish media, as you would expect, a very ruthless form of journalism and media down there. They've got big expectations always on their shoulders. As for Croatia, it's quite the opposite. The expectation was on them in the group stages. They dropped off a little bit, which caused a lot of pressure to be on the shoulders of Dalic, the manager. And now there seems to be a very big unity between the media, the fans, and the whole of Croatia in terms of whether or not we will see Croatia go forward in this competition. We'll all be down to the players on the pitch today, and that's exactly what we'll go towards now, because let's take a look at the lineups for both of the teams today before we do go through your comments in the chat. Starting off with the home side, Croatia with a 4-3-3, a few changes from that original team that faced Scotland a few days ago. Dominik Livakovic has been the keeper for pretty much the whole of the tournament. He keeps his position as expected, actually has been one of the standout players for Croatia in this competition so far. The back four slightly different. Dejan Lovren is out suspended, which therefore means that Duja Šaletakar comes back into the side, West Ham target in real life. He's alongside Domagoj Vida of Besiktas, and the two fullbacks unchanged pretty much throughout the whole of the tournament. Josko Gvardiol, the 19-year-old from Leipzig, and Josip Juranovic on the right-hand side as well. Midfield three pretty much stays intact. Modric comes back from his number 10 role in the previous game, back into a midfield three. It is likely he's going to play a little bit deeper than the rest of the two players, which would make for a very interesting game. And then up top, a very different front three. You will have heard, of course, Ivan Perisic is out of the Euros for now due to a positive COVID test. So whether we do or don't see Perisic again is all down to whether Croatia do get through to the next round. It means that Ante Rebic moves on to the left-hand side of the pitch. Nikola Vlasic, who was brilliant in that game against Scotland, he's on the right wing with Bruno Petkovic, the Dinamo Zagreb forward, at the striker position today should be a very interesting game for him. Hasn't scored yet in the competition, and no doubt he'll be hoping he can bag today. On the bench, it does include the likes of Brekalo from Wolfsburg, Andre Kramaric as well of Hoffenheim is in there, and Mislav Orsic again is available on the bench. He wasn't last time, unfortunately, but good to see him available. Let's have a look at the Spain lineup. 4-3-3 for Spain as well today. A lot of changes from the team that played their final game against Slovakia just a few days ago. Unai Simon keeps his position in the goal for Spain. Hasn't had a bad time at all, if we're being honest. Again, another one of the few players that could probably be a bit of a positive, at the very least, for Spain. Back four, big call from the manager. Jose Gaya plays in the left-back position rather than Jordi Alba. Big call from Luis Enrique to put him in there. The two centre-backs are Aymeric Laporte and Eric Garcia, of course, already played with each other at Manchester City. And Cesar Azpilicueta keeps his position on the right-hand side after that 5-0 win against Slovakia. Midfield three is completely unchanged. Pedri, Busquets and Koke seems to be the midfield three that Luis Enrique definitely seems to trust in, and fair play to him. I think they haven't really had a bad game, have they, really? If we're being honest, Pedri's been very good. Busquets was brilliant in that game against Slovakia, and Koke's not a bad player at all. And then the front three, I think a few changes in there. Sarabia was pretty good in that game against Slovakia. He's on the pitch. Ferran Torres, who came on as a substitute in that last game and scored, he is starting today on the right-hand side. And then, of course, a man who has not been short of controversy, has he, over the last few days. Alvaro Morata is up top for Spain today. And as you can see on the bench, apologies, quick drink. We've got the two Llorentes, Marcos Llorente. Very surprising that he's not played more of this tournament. Jordi Alba, as we said before, missing and on the bench, which is a shame. And Mikel Oyarzabal of Real Sociedad is on the bench as well. He has had quite a few experiences coming onto the pitch late on in matches. So that is how both teams are looking in today's game. Of course, I'm going to go through your comments in a second. Most of all, I'd like to know from you guys, what's your prediction for today's game in terms of the scoreline? I've already seen Kyle's, and I think it's a very interesting prediction that he's put down on the on the table. I think is the best way to put it. So we'll go through those in a second. But we are underway with the game. It's Croatia up against Spain. This is number 5, I think, in terms of the round of 16 games. We are nearly halfway through already, and it's surprising, isn't it, how quick time flies with the knockout fixtures and with the tournament in general. But we're getting through them very quickly, and hopefully we should have another good game on the cards. And what I would say about this game specifically is that this, for me, is a match where Spain have got to try and play similarly to how they did against Slovakia. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is I believe that Croatia, they are a very tough team to break down. You know, when you actually look at it in terms of their run in the tournament, had quite an easy game against Scotland where, yes, they did concede a goal, but after that were quite resolute for the second half of that match. In the game against England, only conceded 1 goal, played not the greatest in terms of the attacking side, but didn't look too bad in defence either, as England did struggle at points to break the Croatians down. And then, of course, the other game, the anomaly, I guess you could say, is that Czech Republic match in which they didn't really play well at all in that game either, but they did at least, I think, get a draw out of that match. As I would say they're going to be hard to break down. I would expect Spain to play the press today and to press the Croatians, put them under pressure when they're on the ball, and see if they can get the ball back and push up the pitch. Because as much as we joke about, I'm going to stop for a second because Spain are already in, and it was a chance which was flicked towards the path of, I think, Pablo Sarabia, and it was actually Jose Gaya as well making the run forward. But in the end, Livakovic is first to the ball, and very, very nearly there. We could have been saying Spain 1-0 up after 2 minutes, and maybe a little bit lucky there that Croatia have just switched on instantly, because they need to in a game like this. We saw Spain put 5 past Slovakia in their final game, and although, yes, you could say Slovakia aren't the strongest team in the world, and they're not the best team, you've got to look back and think that they were having probably one of the better tournaments of any team in that group. And Spain completely dismantled them, which is absolutely unbelievable. And you've just got to see the fact that, these teams have both had weak starts in the groups. We've seen it before in the past when teams and nations have weak starts and they gradually improve as the tournament goes on. And that's something that you would expect from both of these sides. And when you actually look as well at who they play in the next round, they play the winners of tonight's game, France and Switzerland. So either way, it's looking like most likely that they're going to play France unless Switzerland can cause a shock. So again, they're going to be playing a very, very tough game. And then even after that, you get to the semi-finals, you face one of Belgium or Italy. So either way, if you are one of these two teams, or if you're any of the sides on the left-hand side of the bracket, you are going to have the toughest run to the final. And no doubt when we do make that final in about a week or two's time, most people will be saying that the team from that left-hand side of the bracket will probably be the team that deserves to win the tournament because of the run that they've had. Of course, on the right-hand side, when you look at what England and Germany and Denmark and a few other teams have got, it is much, much easier. And no doubt a few of those teams will be wishing that they were on that side of the bracket, which unfortunately they aren't. But let's have a look and see what you guys have been saying in the comment. How are we all doing, everybody? Of course, Kyle in the stream, he put, hey all, how are we doing, Kyle, as always? Hope you're all good as always. Sean in the building saying, all right, mate, how are we? Very good indeed, Sean. Hope you're good as well. Turn out the cause of the electrical fault at home was mine. I put the tablet holder in line with a socket. How stupid was I? I can't remember if he ever said there was a technical fault or not, because I can't remember if he did. Maybe I missed it yesterday, but at least you've been able to sort it out and you're all good at the end of the day. Kyle's put his prediction in the chat. He's gone 6-0 to Spain. Interesting. I would say I think it's one of those results where let's see how the first 15-20 minutes goes to whether it happens or not. But they've started on the right foot here, Spain. And in the first 5 minutes, they have pretty much dominated the most of this match, as you would expect them to do. You know, when you look at the possession stats for Spain throughout all three of their games, they had well over 70% in all three matches. So you'd expect similar stats in this game. And they've got a free kick here, Spain, which I will look at the rest of your comments in a second. But let's see what happens here. 5 minutes into the game, a nice early chance for Spain maybe to make the most of it. Sarabia and Koke are the two stood over the ball. It's going to be Sarabia who takes it, lobbed into the box. It comes towards Ferran Torres, who does get his head onto it. But in the end, it won't come to anything, although Morata has got the ball back. Ball lobbed into the box. Comes towards Ferran Torres. Oh, and it's so unlucky because Koke was in the box and the ball did come into the path of the Atletico Madrid midfielder, but he just couldn't get a decent enough touch on the ball. And either way, the referee is going to have to stop play here because it looks like one of the Croatian players are down in the box. And just have a look who it is who's gone down. It's looking like it's going to be Gvardiol who's gone down. But that is two very good chances early on in this game for Spain. And quite easily, we could have been sat here saying that they could have had at least a goal on the board. And we're seeing that chance again from Koke, and he was stretching heavily for the ball. Really heavily stretched. And he did get a slight touch, but not the touch he would have wanted, as we do get that throw-in for Spain at the halfway line. But Chris is in the building. How are we doing, Chris? Welcome along to the streams. But evening, Josh. Hope you're good as always, my friend. He's put, my sister's boyfriend has got cancer. My life is just shit. My uncle, now him. I can't be arsed anymore. Well, sorry to hear that, Chris. Sorry to hear that. It's never nice news to get. But you've got to keep strong for the family. You know, our, obviously, thoughts to your uncle and to your sister's boyfriend. Hopefully, he can pull through it and be one of the many people out there that have pulled through with cancer. But as I said, from all of us, at the very least, do send our thoughts to him and hopefully our best wishes as well for him. As he's also put in the chat, Chris, Croatia should fancy their chances. In my opinion, will go either way this game. I will make my prediction in a second because I actually haven't made it. But I'm going to say it's a tight game, this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spain. I think it'll be a very, very even match. Lots of chances for both sides. Although I would expect Spain to use their possession to dominate the game a little bit more. And I expect Morata to get two in this game. I really do. I think it'd be one of those games where Morata plays well today and gets a few goals on the board. But we'll have to see, as we are nearly 10 minutes in and we haven't had a goal yet. As Spain will come forward. It is Morata on the ball. Now into Koke. Into Busquets, who plays the ball onto the left-hand side to Pedri. The youngster. So exciting, isn't he? In terms of what he brings to this Spain team and the Barcelona team of the future. Definitely think he's got a really, really exciting future at Barca. Think he could be the next player that stays there for a long, long time. And as you'd expect, Spain just patiently building up here. Not really much coming from it. Ferran Torres on the right wing. Tries to go forward, and he's gone down. And another free kick again for Spain. And it's Ferran Torres who gets the free kick this time. And it's rightly given. Kovacic and Rebic both trying to tightly mark the Manchester City winger. But they've got another chance here. And the first free kick wasn't too bad. Second free kick pretty much looks in the exact same position as the free kick, 2 minutes ago or so? So let's see what happens here. And it's going to be Koke this time who takes it. Not a bad ball, but not also the best of headers from Azpilicueta. Not much he could have really done with it. But a very good start indeed from Spain. Good tempo, good intensity. And Croatia so far, not really being able to get a touch of the ball. And they're going to have to get a touch fairly soon. Because if not, then Carl's prediction might be right. And this could turn into a bit of a battering for Spain. A battering for Croatia from Spain. As Chris has put, cheers for the support as always. I'll just have to stay strong. It's early days. Yes, exactly. That's the best thing. It's early days. And hopefully, the fact that with the news that's come out for you, the fact that it's been found early is always a good thing, because it allows, hopefully, for your brother your sister's boyfriend, to be able to go out there and get the support and the help that he needs. And fingers crossed for him that he does get that support and help that he needs to pull through. But keep strong for him, and hopefully, as we said before, that he does pull through it, because it's never nice. It's never nice. As somebody who has had experience of family members with cancer before, it's not nice at all. It's very tough indeed, but hopefully he pulls through. As we have got a free kick here for Croatia, 10 minutes on the clock, and this is probably the first real opportunity of the game where Croatia have been able to get into the other position half. Not really had much of the ball, if any of it. And in fact, when you actually look at the stats of the game so far, 10 minutes in, the way it's looking right now, tactically, it's been pure dominance from Spain. 86% possession for Spain, 14% possession for Croatia. They've had 14 passes in the game. That proves how dominant that Spain have been so far in this game. Completely holding the ball and not allowing any chances whatsoever for Croatia to take. And so far, so good. We said before that they need to be a little bit more urgent with the ball, Spain, from those previous two games. They showed that urgency in their last match of the group stage. And I think they will continue to show that urgency as time continues on. But a lot of free kicks given early in this game. We've had another one given here. It's in the defensive half of play for Spain. And it's been very stop-start. Lots of free kicks given. Lots of referee having to blow the whistle and stop the play. And, of course, you don't really want that in a game like this. You want it to be free-flowing and a good match to watch. But in the end, it's not been the most enjoyable first 10 minutes for the neutral. But we'll have to see what goes on. And I think I would probably say Spain are one of those teams again. I think they play a little bit better than England do. If I'm being honest with you, I still think they've got much better quality in terms of how they play. And although they did struggle in the group stages, at least they had loads of chances. I just think they are one of those teams that do need to put the pressure on. And they've got much more free-flowing players on the pitch that can play attacking football, unlike England, which, I think England should have moulded the way that they play. Not necessarily around the pass-and-go football that Spain have, but they should mould parts of the attacking play, what Spain have, around the England team. Because I really do like how Luis Enrique plays. There's a chance here from Morata, who's inside the box, takes the ball a little bit too far away from goal, fizzes it towards the path of Sarabia, who takes the shot on from an acute angle. And in the end, his shot does hit the side netting. And a really good feathered pass, into the path of Morata. But Sarabia there, I think, a little bit too awkward, the position of where the free kick was going to be, the shot was going to be taken. It was just a little bit too much of an awkward angle. And in the end, his shot does hit the side netting. And Spain will come forward again. What can they do here in the game? It's going to be Azpilicueta into Koke. Now into the path of Busquets. Ball played onto the left-hand side. It's going to be Jose Gaya. One of the few players at Valencia that haven't left after all of the issues that they've had with financial fair play in the last year or two. Was linked with the move to Man United and Arsenal a few years ago, if I'm correct. As we're going to get another free kick again here for Spain. This time in the middle of the pitch. Going to be taken quickly. And I think that has been the problem for Spain. The fact that they've had so much possession over the last 3 or 4 games and not really done much with it, apart from that final match of the group stage where they had to show a sense of urgency. But what it is causing a lot of problems for Croatia as well. They don't seem to be able to get going right now, the home side, and it is allowing Spain all of the possession in the world, and pretty much everything is playing into the away side's hands. So if you are Luis Enrique, as much as you haven't scored yet, you'd be very, very happy with how you started, because so far, looking very, very good indeed, as we are about to reach the 15th minute of the game. Nearly a third through the first half. I wouldn't say it's flown by, but I wouldn't say it's been the longest 15 minutes in the world either. Might be a chance here for Croatia to come forward. It's going to be Rebic on the left wing. Tries to feed a ball into the path of Vlasic, who made a run into the striker position. But in the end, the pass from Rebic was just a little bit too weak. And I think he's got a lot of work to do today, Rebic, on that left wing. Perisic, the main man for Croatia, in my personal opinion. You know, what he brings to the team, the amount of goals he's scored. He is the key player that could have got something today for Croatia. And Rebic is going to have to live up to that. Of course, he's a little bit more quicker. But I would also say he lacks the skills and lacks the attributes that Perisic has and what Perisic brings to the Croatian side. And he's going to have to try and make up for that, Rebic, today. Because it's going to be a very tough game for him when you are coming up against a very good Spanish defence. Here is Spain, though. Lovely ball into the path of Koke, and so nearly. He could have had a goal in this game. And he will get a corner, I think. But what a pass this was. Absolutely beautiful pass from Pedri. He completely cuts open the Croatian defence. It's a lovely weighted pass to Koke, who takes the shot on. He's in the middle of the goal. He's got to do so much better with the shot as he takes it right at the middle of the keeper. Livkovic makes the save, and they get a corner which Spain will take now. It's going to be lobbed into the box, and it will go out of play for yet another corner. But that is exactly what Pedri brings to the table. He's got a fantastic bit of creativity about him. He brings a sheer class and a lot of the Xavi and Iniesta mould with the passes that he plays into the midfield and the attackers. And of course, that's the easiest kind of comparison you can make. The fact he's Spanish and he plays for Barcelona, and he's one of those players that has got the creative ability to make cute passes across the pitch. But I really do think that he is that player that can be the Xavi of the future for Barcelona. And with passes like that, he's definitely proving what he can do on the international side as well. The youngest player on the pitch, of course, alongside Javario of Croatia, only 19 years of age, the left-back. As Spain have got the ball back again, and they are just completely dominating this game right now. They cannot get a touch of the ball whatsoever, Croatia, and it's causing them a whole host of problems. And you could quite easily say here, Spain could have had 2 or 3 already, which will be a very, I'm saying early warning signs for Croatia, but I don't even think you could say they're early anymore, because they are coming with lots of opportunities, Spain, and they're going to have to take one soon. Chance for Croatia to come forward, though. Long ball to play towards Ante Rebic, who's done very well to keep the ball. It's going to be Brozovic. He's got Vlasic on the right-hand side, who has got a whole burst of pace to use up against Gaia. Takes his man on and does very well indeed. That's played to Brozovic. And this is the first real opportunity where Croatia have just been able to get a bit of a spell of possession in the game. But unfortunately, they were on the right wing a moment ago. They're now back in the defensive half of play. And I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they didn't do something there with the chance, because it did look like for a second Vlasic was going to be through on goal and maybe have a little chance. But at the same time, with the fact that they've not really had much possession, I think you could also say they just want to get a feel for the ball in this game or try and calm down the ruthlessness that Spain have brought in the first 20 minutes of this match. But don't forget, if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new to the channel. We've got a whole host of games still to come. 4 more matches from the Euros in the round of 16. We've still got this game, of course. Later on tonight, we've got France against Switzerland, which is going to be about 10 minutes before kick-off when we go live. That's going to be with KL, with me jumping in. And now there's a chance here for Spain and another opportunity. And this time, Alvaro Morata completely free at the back post. And it's a good header. And in the end, he's calling for a handball on Domagoj Vida. Does hit his hand in the end. But I don't think if you can really ask for a handball there, because it was way too close to his hand. And in the end, Alvaro Morata with a very good chance. That doesn't come to a goal again. And that's probably now the 3rd time in this game where Spain should have probably had the ball in the back of the net and had a goal. And Croatia need to do something and fast. And what they do, I don't know. But they need to change something up here. Because Spain could have easily been on the 6-0 prediction that Kyle made in the space of 20 minutes. Oh, there's a mistake at the back! Oh, it's in! It's an absolute calamity for Spain! It's Unai Simon! And literally, as we just said, they needed something. Croatia, out of nothing, have got something! Wow! That is unbelievable! Even they don't absolutely understand where that's come from. And we're just seeing it now. It was a back pass to Unai Simon. He completely misses the ball. And he goes in the back of his own net. And what is Unai Simon doing? He takes his eye off the ball. He's more interested in the next pass. It rolls past him and into the back of the net. And Croatia have the goal we were saying they needed. And for the neutral, it makes for an even better game now. But a mistake, and what a calamity. 1-0 to Croatia. And we said a few days ago in the group stages, when we watched North Macedonia score against Austria in bizarre fashion with Goran Pandev, we said we wouldn't get another goal of that quality. That would be an absolute humorous goal. And we certainly got one that was better than that. Unai Simon there. What he was thinking, I have no idea. Terrible. Terrible from the keeper. And we've said before in the past in games, and specifically, obviously Courtois last night, I think for a good hour of that match against Belgium v Portugal, didn't have a great deal to do until the second half. And we said yesterday that goalkeepers have to stay alert to situations. And that is a prime moment where Unai Simon, who hasn't had anything to do in the first 20 minutes, if we're being honest, completely switches off. And just like that, I mean, the Spanish fans in the stadium will absolutely not believe what's going on. Because, as you said, Kyle, Spain should have been a couple of goals up. And now they're 1-0 down. And the sense of urgency is just going to build in this game. That is unbelievable. And the Croatian fans going absolutely wild. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You don't think you'll see a goal like that again at the Euros for quite some time. And of course, if you're Croatia, you've got to be thinking to yourself, what do you do now? I mean, Kale was putting the chat, are you Dubravka in disguise? Absolute howler. I think that's even worse than Dubravka. I think he'll be sat at home, Dubravka now, probably thinking to himself, at least mine wasn't as bad. I might have patted it in my own net, but but I didn't mistouch the ball with my feet. And then again, of course, the Austrians would be looking now and saying at least our goal, which we gave to Goran Pandev, wasn't as bad as the not Austria. Sorry, it was who was it that gave the goal away? It wasn't Austria, was it? They're in a different group, I think. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Austria in the end, but even their goal was a bit of a calamity, but absolutely terrible. And as I was saying before, obviously, if you're Croatia now, what do you do? They'll not sit back because I don't think they can. I think they know themselves here that with the way that this game has played out, they could have easily been 2 or 3 down. So I think they need to go and get a second goal in this game to make things interesting. And they will come forward. It's going to be Ante Rebic on the left wing. Now into the path of Kovacic. And I'm very thankful we did get that goal because I'll be honest with you, as much as we've had plenty of chances so far, I do think we needed a goal in this game to liven it up. And that's exactly what we've got out of absolutely nothing. And Croatia still having the ball. Ball still with Croatia. Chance here on the left wing for Rebic. He goes down in the box, calls for a penalty. Referee's not going to give it and plays on. Of course, VAR will check that anyway because the ball isn't out of play yet. But I don't think it will be given as a penalty. I think it was too weak of a foul to be even questioning that as a penalty shout. As Kel says, it was Austria. I thought it was. The Benny Hill goal, as I now know it well. I think that goal might have just been trumped by this one. Here come Croatia, though, on the right wing. It's going to be Luka Modric. Got a place to feed the ball into. One of them is Petkovic, and he's through on goal here. Bruno Petkovic is in, still doing brilliant, and he's hit the side netting. That was the chance, and it was Vlasic in the end, actually, who had the ball. Not Petkovic. My apologies, I thought he was. But that was a real chance, and the ball, unfortunately, just took him a little bit too wide of the goal to have him shot at the near post. By the time that Vlasic is going for it, you know that he's going to have to try and do something special to put that ball in the back of the net. But they're coming into this game now, Croatia. And it's weird to say that because they are 1-0 up, but they're coming into it. And it's all thanks to Spain. Crazy. But it will open things up because Spain, obviously, the urgency that they're going to have to bring as this game goes on, if they don't get that goal, it is going to allow Croatia more opportunities to come forward. And we've said it in the past when you look at teams like Austria and Ukraine and teams like that, Sweden as well. They've got good players in attack, but they haven't got strong players that can go out there and put the ball into the back of the net 9 times out of 10. While I feel with Croatia, they have got decently enough players that can put the ball in the back of the net. I think, Vlasic is a good player on his day. Ante Rebic is a good enough forward to put the ball in the back of the net. He's scored double figures for the last 2 seasons of his career at Milan. And here's a chance for Vlasic into Petkovic, Here's Kovacic, just outside the box. He's going to go for goal, and it's a good effort in the end from Kovacic. But it's always rising high. And this is a much more lively game than I think most of us would have expected with how the game was panning out. And as I said before, the shot from Kovacic, just always rising high. And for Unai Simon, doesn't get a touch of the ball in the end. But another chance for Croatia. That's their second one in the space of about 2 or 3 minutes. And I think they'll get a few more chances in this game, no doubt. It's just whether they can take them or not, because they have been gifted a goal free of charge. And they've got to hope now that they can go and get the one themselves. As ball has been fed long for Spain towards Ferran Torres. He's going to lob a ball into the box. Comes towards the path of Sarabia, whose header is very, very high and wide. And out of play for a goal kick. As we are going to have a stoppage in play here. As I think it looks like one of the players has gone down in the box. It looks like Javadio again. And he should be alright to continue, which is good to see. But as Kyla said in the chat, if Spain score 5, technically my prediction will be right. Because they will have won 6-0 with that own goal. You might be clutching at straws a little bit, Kyle. Might just be clutching at straws a little bit. But we're seeing the goal again. I have no idea what Unai Simon is thinking. You don't even want to look at it if you're a Spanish fan. Because it's just absolutely embarrassing the way that they've conceded the goal. And we're seeing Luis Enrique's reaction as well to that. Complete despair on the face of the former Barcelona manager. Was actually linked with a move to Spurs. Surprise, surprise. He's one of the many managers that have declined Spurs. Here's Petkovic, though, outside the box. Into Kovacic. And Croatia here looking a lot more livelier. Rebic inside the box on the left wing. Now into Vlasic. Back to Rebic again on the left wing. Just outside the box. Tries to play it in, but a flailing arm means that Spain will get a free kick. And it's Koke who's gone down. And again, another free kick in the game. I wonder how many we've had so far in the match, because I think we've probably had quite a few. In fact, looking at the stats and seeing how many we've had in terms of fouls, we've already had 7 fouls in the game. As stats-wise, Croatia 2 shots, none on target. Spain 5 shots, 2 on target. And 2 very good chances that should have probably gone into the back of the net. As we're going to get another free kick again. And Ante Rebic just getting a warning from the referee here. That's the second time in the space of a minute that he's just put a few tackles in on Koke. And that'll probably be the last warning Rebic gets of the game before he goes into the book. But Sean has put in the chat, the second lot of games in Group F were refereed by Englishmen, Michael Oliver, and Portugal versus Germany was Anthony Taylor. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I wonder who's going to be refereeing that game against Germany on Tuesday. Should be a belter of a game, that one. Really looking forward to watching that. As Infinity Football is in the stream. How are we doing? Hope you're good. Welcome along, my friend. Hopefully everything is all right for you. Long time no see. As we are about to reach half an hour into this game. If you have just joined us, Croatia, with an unsuspected 1-0 lead in this game from an absolute calamity at the back. If you haven't seen it, well worth checking it out. It is probably going to go down as the most comedic goal of the tournament by a country mile. As Spain, they had the chances, I have to be honest with you. And so far they've not taken them. As Winvow's in the building as well. Good to see everybody in the chat. How are you all doing? Welcome everybody's put. Hi buddy, how's life? I'm not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Got my hair cut today. Thought I'd get a fresh trim. Look all nice. Because I'm going out tomorrow to watch football. And get some time out while I can. So had a very nice day indeed. Good chance to chill afterwards as well after this game's done. But apart from that, do very good indeed. Hopefully you're good as always, Winvow. And hopefully everybody else in the stream is good too. And you've had a very nice day. Watched a bit of Wimbledon as well. Now Wimbledon's on. My summer is pretty much sorted. Wimbledon, Euros, darts, Olympics. So I'm sorted for the next kind of month or two of pure solid sport. You'll love to see it. It's absolutely fantastic. But hopefully you're all good as well. As we are now half an hour in. Spain looking to come forward here. Busquets into Koke. Tries to feed a ball towards Morata. Is hoofed away by Chaletka. And another chance for Spain. Will go wide of the mark. And that sense of urgency will begin to build. Of course, if they don't go in at the break with a goal, the worry will not be there massively yet. Because I think they know themselves that they'll have a few more chances in this game. But they are going to have to push numbers forward as time goes on. And that is going to run the risk of allowing Croatia opportunities on goal. As there's a ball over the top here to Morata. Good touch from him. Even better defending at the back from Chaletka. And I think it's going to be a corner for Spain. And that is really good defending there from Chaletka. Just keeps himself close to his man. And eventually clears the ball away. And a chance here for a corner for Spain. And they're going to need to take it, you feel. Lofted in by Sarabia. Comes towards Morata. Doesn't get a touch on it. Goes down. And in the end, it's going to go down as a foul and a free kick for Croatia. Just seeing it again now. So yeah, it is a foul in the end. Petkovic going down in the box. And very, very unfortunate there for Spain. But rightly so, given free kick. And that will certainly be good news for Croatia, who, although they are 1-0 up, we'll be hoping that the next hour goes by very quickly. Because if they were to go through to the quarterfinals, we could be set up for a repeat of the 2018 World Cup final against France. Or Switzerland. Let's not count the Swiss out. Of course, Kieran will be covering that game a little bit later on tonight. At 10 to 8. He'll be covering it mainly. I'll be jumping in and out of the stream as the game does go on. But if the Swiss do go through, then I'll tell you something. We've had a cracking Euros. As Chris says, I think I'm going to go off, mate. Really sorry. I'll try and be in the next stream tomorrow. Don't apologise at all, Chris. Hopefully you're all good. And we will see you again in one of the streams Thank you very much, Chris. Hopefully you'll be all right, lad. As Sean's put, Danny McHealy is the referee tomorrow. We'll have to see whether or not he officiates the game very well, because it should be a very good game tomorrow for the neutral. And I'm very, very excited for it regardless of the result. As long as it's a good game, that's all that matters to me. I want to see England do well, but at the same time, I want to see a good match. And if we get a good match and we bow out, then I don't mind it, because at least it was a good game to watch. Because it'd be a very nice experience. As, Carl's just put, take care. Hopefully, you do take care, Chris. But 13 minutes left here. The first half, and what has been a game with a few little chances. We've already seen one shock with the Netherlands going out yesterday to the Czechs. Of course, a few of us saying we didn't think it was a massive shock because we didn't really like De Boer, but it was still a shock regardless. I don't think many people have expected Croatia to be in this position right now, especially with how both teams have played the group stages, and especially with how Spain have played. You would feel that they'll get a few more chances before half-time. And again, it's just patient build-up. Not really a sense of urgency yet. Although they will come forward here. Chance for Sarabia. He's got Koke in the box, but it's good defending by Vida. He's pushed down in the box anyway, and it'll be a free kick for Croatia. And an offside flag has gone up anyway. So regardless of the fact that he was offside, he still would have given away a free kick regardless. And again, I would have to say, when you think about it, we've had a lot of free kicks in this game, but it's also broke up the play in the match, and I think that's frustrating Spain a little bit. The fact that they haven't really been able to get a great deal going in the game Spain, because there's just been constant stoppages, left, right and centre. And I think they'll be hoping that if they can get into the break at half-time at 1-0, they'll be absolutely buzzing with that. If they were to make it 2-0, then we would be in for an absolute cracker of a second half, because then the doors would be wide open for an absolute barnstormer over 45 minutes. But here is Croatia, looking to come forward, ball over the top towards the path of Vlasic, who's been very lively in this game, but now there's a chance here for Spain to come forward. It's going to be with Sarabia, but brilliant defending at the back from Juranovic. And Croatia looking really good at the back, I have to say. Much better, much more organised in the last 10 or 15 minutes from them. As Croatia will get another free kick here. Morata this time, giving a foul away. And I will say, as I said before, they've looked very much more organised, very tight at the back in the last 10 or so minutes. And it's much better from Croatia at the back. And I know Emma Hayes has just been saying on commentary, actually, and I think it's a very fair point that she's making, that I have absolutely no idea why Jordi Alba's not playing today. I think we've seen in the past, and specifically in the last two games of Spain's group stage of the Euros, I think what Jordi Alba brings to the pitch is like an extra winger. You know, he's so good in the defensive position, but what he does is he also creates a whole host of chances that I really do think they are missing a player of his quality on the pitch right now. Which is mad to say that we're calling for a left-back to come on to bring a bit of creative play to the pitch. But ball lofted into the box by Ferran Torres. Going to be a slight deflection on the ball, which will take it for a Spain corner. Can they make the most of it this time? Let's find out. As I've got an ulcer right in the bottom of there. Not nice at all. But we're going to have a chance here to see if Spain can take the most and get a goal back from a set piece. Koke and Sarabia, the two players, stood over it. It's looking like Koke will be the man who takes it, which he is. Comes towards the near post, headed away by Rebic. Comes out to the edge of the box. Slight deflection on the ball. And it was a long-range effort from Jose Gaya that deflected off his full-back teammate Azpilicueta, who would have been, I think, offside anyway. But, again, another chance, which just isn't happening right now for Spain. The final third, they just don't seem to be doing much at all. And of course, this game being played in Copenhagen in Denmark, so they're not at home for the first time, Spain, which will be a big disappointment to them because they have had all of their games at home. First time they've had to travel out. Croatia, of course, travelling here, there and everywhere. Played at Wembley, played at Hampden, playing now in Copenhagen as well. They have had a lot of travelling to do, As Spain look to come forward again. Could be a brilliant chance here. Pedri flicks the ball up for Sarabia. Goalkeeper's out. He's going to have to play it towards Ferran Torres. Calls of a handball potentially. Play will continue for now. Chance taken on by Sarabia. Comes out. Chance. And it's in. And the goal is for Spain. And it comes from Pablo Sarabia. And Spain get the equaliser that they so, you feel, deserve in this game. And there were calls for handball in the build-up for the goal. But those calls won't matter anymore because a man who has come into the side and has done very well in the last 2 games, Pablo Sarabia, fires an absolute rocket into the back of the net. And it was a good save from Livakovic at first. He parries it out towards Sarabia, who's inside the box. He absolutely whacks it with a whole host of power on the ball. And he does get a slight touch, Livakovic, in the end. A very slight touch on the ball. It comes off his head in the end. And just like that, they are right back in this game, Spain. It's 1-1. And that is the perfect response to the mistake that they made in the first half. Because they are now in a much better position going into the second half. And we've just got to see now whether or not they can take that positive energy from that goal and get themselves a second in the match and take the lead on what is going to be a very open-ended second half, you feel, unless we get a goal before then. But Croatia now, again, are going to have to try and regroup. And here they come. Chance for Petkovic, just outside the box. He's not really got anybody near him. Plays the ball to Rebic, takes a lovely touch, and in the end, that touch actually doesn't matter anyway because the flag's gone up for offside. And a very end-to-end game this could turn out to be, as Spain do get themselves a free kick and a chance for both teams to breathe on what has been a very lively 40 minutes of action. I'm so sorry for yawning so much. I don't know why I'm yawning constantly. Not even tired more than anything, but 5 minutes left. Are we going to be going in the break at 1-1? We'll have to find out. I mean, I realised I put a 10p bet on both teams to score in both halves. But I needed 2 corners in each half for each team. And, well, Croatia haven't had any corners. So that is majorly disappointing. Here's Ferran Torres. Ball lofted into the box. Trying to get it towards the path of Morata. Very nearly said he was trying to cross it to himself there. That wouldn't have worked. To Spain do get a free kick. In a decent position to whip this into the box. They're going to take it short, though, and play on. And rightly so, because there's loads of space to the right-hand side here. It's going to be Sarabia, the goal scorer. Cuts in, plays the ball into the box. By Azpilicueta. Cleared away by Chalata. And in the end, Spain will get a throw-in. And they'll take it quickly again. Here's Busquets. Into Pedri. Who's been absolutely fantastic in this game so far. With the own goal was actually given to Pedri, unfortunately. Which is crazy, isn't it? And by the way, they were just saying now that we've had as many own goals in this tournament as all of the previous Euros in history put together. Which is a bonkers stat when you think of it. But here's Sarabia on the right wing, inside the box. Tries to fizz a ball in there. Going to be another corner again for Spain. Can they make the most of it and get a second goal before half-time? As Michael is in the stream. How are you doing, Michael? Hope you're good as always, my friend. He says, good to see that the television companies are using more female analysis. Been impressed with Emma Hayes' punditry. Yeah, I think she's been brilliant. I think she's been fantastic so far. One of the kind of lights, I guess you could say, of punditry at the Euros. And I do always think that the Euros and the World Cup are a very, very good opportunity to try out some of the new faces in football, in punditry. And I think Emma Hayes has definitely been a positive of the Euros so far with what she's brought to the table. And the fact, she's a manager still now of the game at one of the biggest clubs in women's football. She has the knowledge and the experience, and she's very, very good indeed. As Spain have had another corner lobbed in the meantime. It's not come to anything, but they have got the ball back. And there might be a chance here to lob the ball into the box again. Lobbed in by Ferran Torres. Going to be a chance here for Koke from outside the box. And his effort was a decent effort, but he was off target in the end and goes out of play for a goal kick with 2.5 minutes left of the first half. And I think when you look at the game, it's a weird one, isn't it? You know, we're 40 minutes in. I can't sit here and say it's been a bad game because we've had 2 goals in it before half-time. But it's been a weird one because obviously Croatia, they have had a few chances here and there, was gifted a goal out of nothing. But apart from that, they've not really tested Unai Simon. Apart from Pedri's own pass back to the keeper, which he couldn't even handle. So that could be quite a bit of a worry for him in goal. But apart from that, they've not really had any chances on goal majorly. And that'll be the worry for Croatia because they know that Spain will have more chances. But here could be an opportunity. Chance to the right-hand side, Gvardiol. Ball lobbed into the box, and that was the chance. That really was the chance. It was Ante Rebic in the box. And what a pass it was from Gvardiol. Brilliant cross into the box. A really well-weighted pass into Ante Rebic, who, being a striker, makes a very good run towards the near post, but he's a little bit too close to Unai Simon. And by the time he's got a touch on the ball, the AC Milan winger, he's already too close to the keeper, and it's a comfortable save for Unai Simon in the end. As we're into the final minute and 20 of the first half, Spain looking to come forward again here. Morata, at the edge of the box, tries to flick a ball towards Koke, who's been very, very lively in this first half. But Croatia get the ball back again. And we'll look to maybe have one more opportunity before the half-time whistle. I think we'll probably get 2 or 3 minutes of additional time because of the amount of free kicks that have been given. And fouls. But they've been so hard to break down, haven't they, Spain? They just don't really seem to know what to do in terms of the in terms of actually breaking down Spain right now, and that's been a big problem for them. As Pedri tries to feed a ball towards Morata, it's a interesting pass that doesn't come off for the youngster, and in the end, Croatia will get the ball back. And with 25 seconds left here, might have a chance to come forward because Rebic is in the middle. He's got a very good chance, but Unai Simon is quicker to the ball, and he hoofs it up the pitch. As Croatia will get a free kick, and this time, Unai Simon does very, very well to get to the ball. And again, he had to time that perfectly, or else that could have been another mistake from the keeper. And he does so well there indeed to get the ball and make sure that Croatia don't get a second in this game. As we are into additional time, we've got 1 minute of additional time. And a chance maybe here for Croatia. Ball lofted towards Petkovic. And Laporte just clears his lines. And Spain will get a free kick anyway for a foul on Jose Gaia. As Peter is in the building. I'm doing Peter Redmond. Hope you're good as always. He's put even all tragic news for Chris. We have our arguments and debates, but he always makes me laugh. It's sad he's received that news. My prayers with his family. Very nice from you, Peter. Very, very nice indeed. Hopefully you're all good, mate. Welcome along. Good to see you in the stream as always. You know, as we said before, like, you two have a laugh. You are our Roy Keane and you are our Patrick Vieira. You know, you like to have a laugh with each other. And you always do like to bring a bit of comedy to the chat, and we love it. But Morata's got a chance here at the edge of the box, and his shot is high and wide and out of play for a goal kick. But yeah, it's good to see you put that in the chat. As Michael said as well, Emma Hayes was tipped strongly not long ago to be the first woman to manage in the men's English league. She was, wasn't she? She took Chelsea to the Women's Champions League final this season. They lost against Barcelona. I think, did they lose 4-0? I think it was quite a heavy defeat. I think they took in the end. But the referee has just blown the whistle for half time, and it's a weird game because it's a good game, but at the same time, I think it's also been a game of very few chances for Croatia, and they'll be going at the break thinking, do you know what? We'll be very happy that we're 1-1 at half time because it could have been so much more different in terms of the actual complexion of the game itself. And when you look at the stats of the match, which I will do now, it has been, as expected, complete dominance by Spain. They have absolutely dominated in this game. 73% possession for Spain, 10 shots, 4 on target. As for Croatia, they've had 2 shots, none on target, 27% possession, and a goal. Of course, that goal coming from what is being classed, technically, as a Pedri own goal. Unai Simon, technically, is the one who should get the credit for it, because it was a very, very disappointing goal to give away. And it was a moment where Croatia as I said, they'll go in at half-time thinking to themselves, I don't know how we're in it, because Spain had chances, and quite a few chances. There was 2 very good opportunities in the game for Koke, which he missed. And ultimately, we could have been sat here after 20-25 minutes saying Spain are 3-0 up, and this game is already done and dusted. But Croatia going at half-time at 1-1, they'll be happy with that. Spain, knowing that they've got quite a lot of work to do themselves if they want to go through, it makes for a very, very exciting second half. And no doubt there should be lots more action to come when we are back in about 10 to 15 minutes' time. But if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscription on the channel. It's not just me who covers the games on the channel. There's a whole host of us that cover all of the Euro 2016 matches. We've pretty much covered about 95% of the games in the tournament. And of course, we will be covering every single knockout fixture all the way until the very end of the competition on the 11th of July. So if you want to join us for it, you want to sit back, relax, and have a little bit of reaction and commentary in the background, then come and join us on the channel. We don't bite. We're very nice on here. We've got a lovely community of people that always come to our streams and certainly bring us some very good talking points throughout the games, especially when they're very quiet indeed. If you want to check out our social media links, they are in the chat and in the description as always, as Kyle very kindly does do. Twitter is at @_top corner, and our Instagram is _sports corner _. Do go and check those out if you haven't already. They are the best places. Specifically, Twitter is the best place to go to know when we're live, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. So that is our social media links. Let's take a look at what's to come over the next 2 or so days. I think it's two days. I think not much in terms of the actual gap between the matches, but this is what's coming up over the next few days in terms of the Sports Corners action. We've got the second half of Croatia up against Spain. That'll be coming up in about 10 or so minutes time. Should be a very exciting second half indeed. You can join Kyle tonight from 10 to 8 with France up against Switzerland. Can the Swiss provide this biggest shock of the tournament? And then of course the big one, 10 to 5 Tuesday, England Germany. You can join Rowan for that. It should be a brilliant game indeed. And then straight after that, Rowan will be back again. It's a double header from him. 10 to 8, Sweden-Ukraine, the final game of the round of 16. You can join him for that 10 minutes before kickoff. And he'll be covering the last 2 games of the round of 16. And then we will know our round of 16 lineup, which is going to be very, very exciting indeed, because we already know some of the games coming up in the quarter-finals. We've got Belgium up against Italy, which should be a fantastic game. And then, of course, we've got Czech Republic against Denmark. One of those 2 sides are going to be making the semi-finals of the Euros, which is absolutely an unbelievable achievement for both of those teams, and a real credit to whichever side does make it there. So that should be a very good game as well, and no doubt Rowan will probably be covering that match, and it should be a very, very exciting game indeed. So that, of course, is all of the action coming up in terms of the quarterfinals. That's on Friday, the 2nd and 3rd of July. We've got 2 rest days coming up again, the 30th and the 1st of July, which means, unfortunately, it will be quiet for those 2 days on the channel. It'll be very boring with nothing to do, but we do get some time to put our feet up and get ready for what should be a very exciting quarterfinal journey from the beginning of July. But yeah, that is pretty much all that's really to talk about in terms of the games coming up in the next few days. We will have a look a little bit later on the bench in terms of the 2 sides and who they can bring on to maybe make a difference in this game. But apart from that, just have a look at what you guys have been saying in the chat before then. Peter saying, as for me, I'm just my usual self, which is good, because that's how we like it, Peter. Good to see you, good as always. Michael saying it was 4-0, where Chelsea lost to Barcelona in the Women's UCL. I thought it was. I thought I could remember 4-0 in the back of my head. Kyle putting in the links in the description, as always. He's an absolute legend for doing that. Thank you very much indeed, Kyle. And then Michael saying, sad news that Ivan Perisic tested positive for Croatia, along with Modric. He's been the best player in the group stages. Modric is on the pitch. Modric is available for this game. He's all right. Just Perisic, who's the one. Oh, I get what you mean. That's me being stupid. Sorry. I get what you mean now. Modric being the best player. That's me being stupid for a second there. Misread it. I get what you mean. Yeah, Perisic. It's a shame, because I think for me, he's been the best player of the tournament for Croatia. And I would also say now, in my opinion, he's the best player Croatia have got. That's no disrespect to Modric. I just think he's such more influential to what he brings to the table for Croatia. That I think he's a fantastic player for them. But yeah, I agree with you. Him and Modric have been the two best players. Modric hasn't got COVID like I thought he had for a second. But we're just seeing that goal back again. And how that can be credited as a Pedri own goal, I feel so sorry for him. Because I really thought that Unai Simon got a touch on the ball in the end. I'm just going to see it now. And he does. He gets a touch on the ball. And it's a shame for him because, I mean, Pedri obviously would have been expecting Unai Simon to have got the touch on the ball there. He doesn't. Makes an absolute fool of himself. And gives away the most stupid own goal you're going to see of the tournament. And he goes down as a Pedri own goal, which is gutting. Because it deserves to go down as an Unai Simon one. Not a Pedri own goal. But there's not much he can really do about it. But for now, we'll take a little bit of a break. We'll be back in about 5 or so minutes time for the second half of this game. Do put your predictions in the chat. I would love to know what you think the scoreline is going to be for the end of this match. Do you think Croatia are going to win it? Or do you think Spain will take a victory? Do tell us in the chat below. I'm going to take a few minutes break. We'll be back for the second half. We'll go through the two teams as well to see who they can bring on. But as for now, go and grab yourself a drink or some food because we could be in for a very, very exciting second half. That's all to come in a few minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. And we are back for the second half of the game between Croatia and Spain. Thank you for those of you that did wait. A little bit of a longer break, of course, because, well, there's not really much to talk about in terms of the game itself at half-time. But both teams coming out onto the pitch in just a moment for the second half. What we can talk about before we get back into the game is everything that's been going on in terms of the actual match itself and how Croatia have been very, very quiet when you think about it. They've just not really been able to break down Spain in this game. And that has ultimately been their problem. They have played into the hands of Spain massively in this game. And the real question, I guess, on everybody's lips is, can they hold on? Or more importantly, will Spain go out there and dominate them? Or will we get an unsuspected victory? Obviously, we'll have to find out when the game does start. Both teams coming out back onto the pitch for the second half of action. And for those of you that did wait, as I said before, thank you very much. Hopefully you're all good and you've got yourself a drink or some food for the second half, because this could be a very feisty and very exciting second half. We've had a lot of fouls, so I do think eventually the yellow cards are going to start coming out from the referee. And we're also going to see a change as well, which sees Croatia bring on another forward into this game. And it's going to be Mr. Andre Kramaric, the man who I have to say I cannot believe hasn't started more of this tournament. He is going to come onto the pitch, and coming off at half-time, didn't really do much in the game, and for me, probably the right substitution to make is Bruno Petkovic. And what Kramaric does bring to the game is a much better finisher. He's got a little bit of everything about him, could play as a cam centre-forward, could play on the wings, has even played as a midfielder for Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga, so he could play there as well if you needed him to. But I think he brings a little bit of added dynamism, I think, to the game is the best way to describe what he brings to the table. And that's exactly what they need in this game, Croatia. Because as it stands, 1-1 in this match, Spain and Croatia could have the potential to maybe go to extra time and penalties, which we did, of course, see extra time in that game between Italy and Austria, which unfortunately we didn't get to see penalties. Something tells me that's not going to happen in this game either, but we'll have to see. Because you never know. Football is a wonderful sport, and it can bring up the most unbelievable and surprising of circumstances. And hopefully that's what Croatia will be dreaming of by the end of this game, that they are going through to the next round and Spain are booted out. And as we know, at the World Cup, they were booted out by Russia on penalties in surprise fashion. Croatia would be a very different team, of course. Whether or not they could do it, we'd have to find out. But Unai Simon, under some pressure again, could have very nearly gave Croatia another goal, had Rebic, and not been half a second quicker. And this will be a very exciting second half, as a bit of ASMR for you. I know Kieran tends to like, whenever Kieran has a drink, he likes to turn off his microphone when he's opening it. I'm the opposite. There wasn't as much as a fizz as I expected. I thought we were going to get a bit of a fizz there. Bit of ASMR for you. We are drinking today Vimto, by the way. If they'd like to sponsor us, the option is on the table for a contract, as we are going to get a free kick for Spain here. Morata going down. And this should be in a decent position here. Probably about 30, 35 yards out towards the middle of the goal. Good effort if somebody wanted to hit this with some venom from long range. But he's looking more like they're going to try and whip this into the box. Koke, the man who stood over the free kick. A few numbers coming forward, including Laporte and Garcia. And this would be quite a spectacular effort, wouldn't it, if this were to be hit from long range. But I don't think that's going to happen. As Kyle's gone 5-1 Spain, so then he won't be clutching at straws for his predictions. Makes up for you 6-0. And then we'll read Michael's comment in seconds. The free kick's taken. Lobbed into the box. Headed away by Vida. Comes back to Sarabia on the right wing. Of course, the goal scorer for Spain in this game. Had a pretty decent tournament, if I say so myself. But they just don't seem to be able to break down this Croatian defence right now in the early stages of this second half. Here's Pedri. Ball given away by Busquets. That's not something you say often. But Rebic trying to do the skills. And the back heel has given the ball back instantly to Spain, who could drive forward. And as Michael has said, and it's the point what we were making earlier, Perisic with 3 goals in the competition, 2 against Scotland and 1 against Czech Republic. Other players need to step up at this stage of the competition. And rightly so, they do need to, because I think he's such a good player, Perisic, on his day. He's the best player for me for Croatia, but they just don't have enough good team plays that can score. And that's the problem, is there's a chance here for Pedri. Ball played onto the left wing to Jose Gaya. Ball lofted in towards the near post, headed away by Brozovic. And Croatia will now try to counter-attack. And there could be an opportunity. And it's Vlasic on the right wing, but he's well defended by Spain. And that is such a shame for Croatia, because the little bits of pockets of space which are going to open up, they're going to have to take. And it's good defending by Laporte, who just hoofs the ball out of play. And Croatia now will need to make the most of the few chances that they've got. And they will be looking to Kramaric as the man who can put the ball in the back of the net. And so far, I think he's scored 1 goal in the tournament. He's going to need to score more than that today, knowing that this is going to be a very, very tight 40 minutes of action. Potentially more, of course, if we do go to extra time or pens. As we're just seeing Modric and Busquets against each other. Of course, the amount of occasions that they've had against each other in football must be too many to count. The amount of El Clasicos that they've both been in together will be a hell of a lot, especially for Busquets. Obviously been around for longer than Modric has. But here's Spain. Ball over the top. Really heavy ball over the top. And in the end, Sarabia, the man who's chasing the ball, isn't going to be able to get the touch in the end. It's miles away from him. And a chance that does go wide of the mark will not come into fruition for Spain, as they try to push up the pitch again. But Croatia looking very organised at the back in this early few minutes. And they were saying at half-time with the goal on commentary, they feel that the second goal of the game, the one which Spain scored, could have been avoided. I do agree to a certain extent it could have been. But unfortunately, Livkovic wasn't able to keep the original effort out. Or at least keep it away from his goal for long enough for it to not go back in. And that will be the downfall for Croatia here. As Spain looking to dominate the ball again and patiently build up. And on the right-hand side with Ferran Torres. Ball going into the path of Koke. Back to Ferran Torres again. And the referee has pulled for a free kick. And it looks like we're going to be going a similar way to what we did in the first half, with lots of free kicks given. But we'll have to see what happens, because so far it's been a very cagey game, and it just needs somebody to kind of bring a bit of a spark to it, which is mad to say when it's 1-1. We've had 2 goals, but it needs a spark to it. I don't think we're going to get that spark from Spain. They seem quite happy to patiently build up and pass around the pitch, as you would expect. But if Croatia were to score again, then obviously Spain are going to be under pressure to score 2. Here is a chance, though, for Spain to come forward. Morata. Busquets plays the ball to the left-hand side to Jose Gaya. Flicks a ball into the box towards the near post. It's there for Sarabia, who tried to lay it off for Morata. And in the end, the pass was a little bit too heavy. And Livkovic gets the ball back for Croatia, who are going to try and see if they can hit on the break instantly. Here is Kovacic on the right wing. Ball stays in play. And it will go back to Croatia again at the halfway line. Switch of play onto the right-hand side of the pitch. Very good switch of play. It's going to come to Juranovic, who's going all the way. Tries to feed a ball into Kramaric. But the pass is just a little bit too heavy. And a good little chance there for Juranovic, but the pass was just not good enough. And the switch of play there did just allow them to push forward a bit. Don't think Spain expected that one. And you can see that they're growing in confidence as the game goes on, Croatia. It's just whether or not they can get that opportunity on goal to put them into the lead. Or whether you'd expect Spain to get the goal before them. Which is more likelier, I would say. Here is Croatia, though. Ball played towards Kramaric. Again, ball too heavy. Kramaric not disappointed with the quality of pass. He thought it wasn't too bad. But in the end, another chance for Croatia that doesn't come to anything. And as time goes on, when you look at the quality of the 2 benches, you know, Spain have got a plethora of quality players that they could bring on. They've got Adama Traore, they've got Yarzabal, Fabian Ruiz, just a few of the stars who could come onto the pitch and make a difference. While if you look at the Croatian bench, they've got a few decent players here and there that can come on, but not as many high-quality stars as what Spain have. As Chaleta is just going to get a talking to by the referee here. few niggly fouls going in. There's about 2 or 3 times where Morata had been fouled by the Croatian in the space of about 10 seconds. And the referee just, of course, not bringing out a card yet, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I thought we would have had some cards out by now, but he's letting them off. And I would say surely soon the cards will come out. Because that must be about 3 or 4 players on final warnings. Obviously, we saw Rebic earlier going to get a final warning. That was quite early in the game. And then we've had a few other fouls here and there as Croatia giving the ball away here. Spain lofting the ball onto the left-hand side, but the referee's going to stop the play for a second and say that the ball's gone flat. So we're going to have a change of ball, which the referee has noticed. And, yeah, I think if I was Spain there, I'd be a little bit disappointed because he was actually stopping Spain in a good position of attack. But the referee stops it saying the ball's flat. And we're just waiting for another ball to come our way, which is taking a very long time to find one. And I don't know why. Obviously, I know with the COVID protocols and stuff, it's a little bit harder to be having the ball boys around. I don't know if they have actually got any ball boys, if I'm being honest with you. But if Wimbledon can have them, then so should footballers. We are back underway now. A ball has been found. And we do get back underway. We spin on the attack here on the left-hand side. It's going to be a chance here for Ferran Torres on the left wing. Pedri. Lovely ball to the right-hand side to Sarabia. Lovely ball into the box. Cleared away by Chelescar. And again, Spain looking very lively. And more notably, Sarabia looking very lively in this game. That's twice now in the space of 10 minutes where he's looked like he could maybe feed a pass into Morata and give him a chance on goal. And he's been the best player on the pitch today, Sarabia. And of course, Pedri as well has been brilliant. 18 years of age. Unbelievable. He's 18, I'm 21, and I'm sat here talking about a kid of the future. It's unbelievable, isn't it? He's such a quality player. And I think Barcelona are very gifted in their midfield for the future. Ilaix Moriba, Pedri, just to name a few of the quality stars they've got. They are very lucky to know that the next generation of Barcelona players are pretty much sorted. I mean, you look at the other players they've got, Ansu Fati as well, who unfortunately picked up an injury which stopped him from being able to come to the Euros at the beginning of the season, which was a real shame. He's another player for the future. You know, when you actually do look at the Spain team, they've got a lot of good players. And we might see another dominant Spain side in a decade or so when we've got the likes of Pedri in there. And here he is on the ball now. Plays it onto the left wing to Jose Gaya. Into Ferran Torres. Ball lofted in, and it's a brilliant ball into the box. And see Cesar Azpilicueta, who runs into the box, gets a lovely, neat header on the ball. And Spain take the lead in this game. It's 2-1. And that is Cesar Azpilicueta's first goal for his country. And what a first goal it is. Because Spain take the lead in this game. It's 2-1 to them. And what a lovely, lovely cross it was. It was a really nice ball into the box by Ferran Torres. And so unexpected, the fact that Azpilicueta was just in the box already waiting for the ball. It's a lovely, neat header. Gets it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's a tidy, tidy finish. Really good header. And just like that, Spain take the lead in this game. Rightly so, rightly deserved. And now Croatia, under some pressure, with half an hour to go of this round of 16 fixture, now find themselves 2-1 down. What a moment for Azpilicueta. His first goal. And when you think about it, a player of his quality, who hasn't had many caps for Spain. I think they were saying it's his first cap in 3 years when he was called up to the squad. And now he's a goal scorer for Spain when it matters the most as well. And that is a brilliant, brilliant moment for him. As Spain now in the lead, Croatia going to have to attack the match. And we'll have to see what they bring to the table because they've got half an hour. That's a long time in football. And they're going to need to get something quick because if they do get a third here, Spain, you would surely think that that will be the game done and dusted. And Croatia will be out, but might even be a chance here. Ball lofted long towards Jovanovic, but the pass is just way too heavy and goes out of play for a goal kick. But we've seen some of the substitutes, as we said before. Spain can bring on Dani Olmo, one of them. who could come on. Another player who is an absolute star for the future. Could really bring a lot to the table for them. Oyarzabal as well, another one who is a brilliant player. They're so gifted, Spain. And you think to yourself, they are ones to watch in the next 5 or so years. You know, when Pedri's 23, when Ilaix Moriba's in his early 20s, when Eric Garcia is in his mid-20s, Oyarzabal will be in his mid to late 20s. They've got lots of players who could be in their prime. And that's what makes it so exciting. Ferran Torres as well, let's not forget, will be in his mid to late 20s. They are so lucky to have the players that they have for the future. And although they might not be the stars of the... well, they are stars for now, but they might not be the players they want to be now. They are still so good. And here come Croatia, though. It's going to be a chance on the right-hand side with Vlasic. Ball lofted towards Kramaric, who's given the ball all the way. And just a little bit sloppy here from Croatia again. And for all of the celebrations from the many Croatians that were in the crowd when the goal went in to make it 1-0, there is now silence from the Croatians as they are now 2-1 down. And they'll be hoping that their side can well and truly get back into this game with the 30 minutes to go. Don't forget, if you are new to the stream and you have enjoyed it so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscription on the channel if you are new. Got plenty more content to come. We've got, what, another stream in about an hour and 30 minutes time. We've KL, he's going to be covering France up against Switzerland. I'll be jumping in and out of the stream to give my thoughts and opinions on the game, but KL will be covering the large majority of it. And then, of course, tomorrow, England v Germany, which Rowan will be covering live from about 10 to 5. More knowing probably, more likely 5 to 5, because I know he tends to go live quite late. But, yeah, it should be a very good game, that one. Very good game indeed. Lots to look forward to over the next 2 days of action, because then we've got another break. Another 2 days of no football, and that's going to be tough to get through, isn't it? No football. It's going to be very boring indeed. As we've got another play down here. There's been so many fouls in this game. Busquets is supposed to be the person who's fouled. I think it's Javardiol who's gone down. It was a 50-50 clash for the ball. And it's just a very awkward landing for Javardiol. In fact, that landing is very reminiscent of the landing that, I think, what's his name? Mario Fernandez had in that Russia game, where he just landed straight on his back. A very, very painful landing. And hopefully, he's alright to continue, because that was very painful for him. As we're just seeing the Azpilicueta goal back again. And a good reaction there from Luis Enrique, who probably knows that they've been under the cosh a little bit. As good news is Javardiol is okay to play on, which is good to see. Thought for a second we're going to have another injury issue, but he's alright to play. And luckily Croatia won't need to make any changes for now. As we are, what, 29 minutes left. They only need 1 goal to take us to extra time. 2 to win. But with the way that this game's gone, I don't know if they're going to get that, to be honest with you. Here is Brozovic, going to play it back to his goalkeeper, Livkovic, who, as I said before, for me, in this tournament, has had a very good tournament for Croatia. Probably put himself into the market a little bit, the Dinamo Zagreb keeper. Might be a chance, I can't bloody speak. Might be a chance now for Croatia, even. Here's Modric. Going to switch the play to the right-hand side, to Juranovic. Now it's going to be Brozovic. Back to Modric again, who's giving the ball away. Very sloppy there from Modric. And Morata will go down, and yet again, what must be the 23rd foul of the game is going to be giving us a free kick to Spain. And we've had 13 fouls, 19 in the match. 13 for Croatia, 6 for Spain. It has been foul central in this game. And that's why it's been so stop-start. Constant fouls left, right and centre, which has been a little bit annoying, but what can you do, eh? What can you do? Here comes Spain, though. Ball on the right-hand side of the pitch. It's going to be Sarabia. Good ball towards him, just a little bit too heavy. And the PSG, wide forward, isn't able to get a touch on the ball. And Croatia will get it back again. Here's Kovacic. As Croatia look to play around the back. Ball spread long to Juranovic on the right-hand side. He's been a very, very, very interesting player to watch in this second half. had a lot of balls, and there's a ball over the top towards Kramaric. But I think Kramaric would have been offside had he have touched the ball anyway. Goes into the hands of Unai Simon, who will gladly take that ball into his hands. And yeah, I think it would have been offside there, Kramaric, had he touched it. But Juranovic, as I was saying before, that right-hand side of the pitch, a lot of players come down that side in the last 10 or so minutes. And it seems to be working. But the problem is they're not getting into the box a great deal. I'd be really interested to see how many touches in Spain's box Croatia have had. Because I don't think it would be many, if any, touches in the box. Here's Koke, though. Into Sarabia on the right wing. What can the PSG forward do? Ball into the box towards Morata, who didn't get a touch at the end. Good defending by Vida. And now Croatia might be able to counter here. Oh, lovely work by Rebic, who swivels around his man, but then puts a terrible ball in. And so unlucky there, Rebic. As Michael has asked, do you think that England will go with a back three and 2 wing-backs tomorrow to match Germany's formation? I don't think we will, no. I think there's a lot of people asking for us to do that, but I don't think we will. I think we'll stick with a 4-2-3-1, and or we'll play the 4-3-3, and we'll play in that way. But I don't think we'll play with 3 at the back tomorrow. I think we will try and stick with the 4 back, because I think when I think about the back 3, obviously we've got Stones and Maguire. So then you're either picking one of Mings, Cody, White. I think it'd probably be Mings for that left-hand side. Which I don't mind, because I think Mings has played very well in the tournament. I think he's been good in the games that he played, so I don't mind that. Just then, obviously, your 2 wing-backs for me, one of them, you really wish it was Trent, because I think Trent as a wing-back in that type of game would be brilliant, because he can do the attacking side of play and the defensive. So for me, if you're looking at the right-back position, you're probably looking at Trippier, because he's got the attacking side of play. And then on the left-hand side, you are probably looking at Chilwell, but most likely Shaw, I think they'd go for. Obviously, Chilwell's already got experience of playing in that 3 at the back formation with Chelsea, and I think he'd be suited to it. But I think we'd probably go for Luke Shaw, which would be a shame. Well, not a shame. I think Luke Shaw could do it, but I'd like to see Chilwell play. Then, of course, it's what you do after that. I think they were saying tomorrow Foden's likely to start, which makes me believe we're going to go for a 4 back formation. And we'll have Foden, Grealish, and Sancho. If Sancho's not in there, there is going to be riots in the streets, because he should be. He knows the German players, and what a way, stick him in that game and give him a go and give him a try against Germany. I'd love to see that. But we are going to have a change here for Croatia, and it's a change we've wanted to see for ages. Mislav Orsic is coming onto the pitch. And what a player he is. Ante Rebic comes on. Mislav Orsic coming on. A player which I have absolutely no idea how he has not moved to a top European club yet. He's got a hat-trick against Tottenham, of course, for Zagreb in the Europa League, in one of the most unbelievable knockout games of the season. But how he's not playing for a top European side yet, I have no idea, because he's such a good winger on his day. And here he is on the ball. Going to come in here, and there's a chance, and Unai Simon with the save. And it was a decent little effort in the end, I think. Just trying to see who took it on. It looked like Chaleta Carr had come all the way up the pitch for the chance. And in the end, a decent little effort, but Unai Simon makes the save. And another chance for Croatia that goes wide of the mark. And they needed to take a chance like that, because this game, with about 20 minutes left, they're going to have to show that desperation now, because time is running out. Here is Modric trying to feed the ball into the right-hand side. Doesn't get towards Juranovic. And it will actually go down as a Spain free kick for offside. But yeah, I don't think we'll play 3 at the back. I think we will go with a 4. I just think tomorrow for me, obviously a game that I'm not covering, because I'm going to be watching it instead in a bar. I think tomorrow for me, as I said, I keep saying it all the time, but I think that England-Germany is probably one of the hardest games to predict, because both sides haven't looked great. I think we've seen glimpses of them looking good. Germany more than I think England. Obviously, that game against Portugal was the top quality performance. I think probably one of the best performances we've seen of Spain. But I'm going to stop for a second because Kramaric is in. Shots taken on. Save made. But I wasn't really going to get excited because I thought it was offside. And the flag goes up for offside anyway. So rightly so. He was quite far offside in the end. But another little chance there for Croatia. But yeah, I do personally think that that game will be a very tough one to predict because their win against Portugal was one of the most enjoyable games to watch because they looked so good. And that for me is the best performance Germany put in years. As for England, we haven't seen the best of them yet. Would I like to see the best of them against Germany? Yes. Do I think we're going to get it? No, I don't. I think it's going to be a tight game. And if I'm being honest, I'm going to go for a 3-2 Germany win. But never say never. You can never say never. It'll be a good game to watch tomorrow. As I said before earlier in the stream, as long as it's a good match, if England don't win, as a neutral football watcher, I'll be very, very happy that it's a good game for the neutral. If England do win, fantastic. I'll be booking my tickets to go and watch England against whoever we're up against in the next round in a bar a few days afterwards, no doubt. Because I don't think I'll be doing any more England games in the tournament if we were to go through, because I think we've got it all planned out for each England one. We're going to make the most of it. So you might see some of the other guys doing the England games instead, but we'll have to see. As we are now into the final 20 minutes of this game. Spain 2, Croatia 1. If you've missed the game, I'll be honest with you, it's had 3 goals in it, but it's not actually been the most amazing game in the world. We had a mistake at the back, which opened the scoring in the game. Own goal from Pedri to allow Croatia to take the lead in the match. Ever since then, Spain got themselves back into the game. 1 goal was by Sarabia, and then another goal in the second half, which was a header from Cesar Azpilicueta. As we are going to get another free kick here for Spain. Koke's gone down, and this is in a very decent position to try and whip this into the box and maybe get a third and kill the game off once and for all. But we are going to get some changes first, and those 2 changes we'll see first up the goal scorer, Pablo Sarabia, who I have to say today has been fantastic for Spain. Really, really good performance from him. He comes off the pitch, and on comes Dani Olmo, RB Leipzig, midfielder / winger. He'll come onto the pitch for the final 20 minutes of the game. A little bit surprised they've taken him off in the end because I thought he played very well, Dani Olmo. And then the other change of the game is going to see, it's looking like Eric Garcia's coming off. And on comes Pau Torres, the Villarreal centre-back, Europa League winner, of course, comes onto the pitch. So 20 minutes left, free kick here for Spain. Can they get a goal? We saw Pau Torres score, actually, straight away after coming on in the last match. Can he do it again? Koke with the ball into the box. It's a very heavy one. Comes towards the near post. It's bobbling. It goes down and it's in. And it's 3-1 Spain, but it will not count as the flag has gone up for offside. And I think even Morata knew that the offside flag was coming, and we see it again. And you can see he's miles offside. It comes towards Morata. He just puts the ball in the back of the net because he knows anyway, but you can quite clearly see Morata is miles offside. And in the end, it will not count as a goal for Spain. And a little moment to breathe there for Croatia because they're going to have to push numbers forward, and they're going to do it now with Brozovic. What can he do here? Brozovic into Kramaric. Now to Orsic on the left wing. Can he bring a bit of magic to the pitch? Still got the ball Orsic. Don't know how he's done that. There's a tussle in the box, and the referee is going to give a free kick to Spain anyway. First yellow card comes out, goes to Brozovic for his protests. And in the end, it's going to be a free kick for Spain as Brozovic still protests to the referee on that decision. And just seeing it now, bit of a tussle in the box for the ball. They were calling for a handball on Koke, and I mean, if we're being honest with you, there's not really much Koke could do in that situation in terms of not touching the ball. He was being pretty much tackled by 3 of his other opposition players. But yeah, it's not going to be given as a penalty, and it will be a free kick for Spain, as you would expect. But we'll see what happens here, because he goes into the book, first card of the game. which is quite surprising. It's taken us 70 minutes to get the first card. As we get the second substitution of the match for Croatia. And coming onto the pitch is going to be Josip Brekalo. And coming off is Josip Juranovic. So a bit more of attacking threat now. Because Brekalo from Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga had a brilliant, brilliant season in which Wolfsburg got themselves back into the Champions League for the first time in a few years. Could he bring a bit more of the attacking flair they need to get a goal back for extra time? Long ball lofted to Kramaric. He's going to get to him in the end. Takes a very good touch. Ball's then eventually given away. Advantage given to Croatia. And play will continue as they try to push the ball forward. What can they do here? Kramaric into Orsic on the left wing. He's going to try and take his man on Orsic. Tries the outside of the foot pass into Brekalo, but it doesn't get to him in the end. And Spain will get the ball out with Morata as they've got 15 minutes left to hold on here with a 2-1 lead. Can they hold on to it? Or can they get their third goal of the game and kill it off? You'd feel like they need that third goal. But we'll have to see. Because remember, extra time and penalties could still be looming potentially. Depending on what happens in the next 15 minutes. But I would say right now, Croatia haven't done enough to get a goal in this game. But you can never say never. As one of the Spanish players are down. We'll see who's down in a second. But play will continue for now. As Livakovic. Oh, nearly had a bit of a poor back pass there. And Livakovic tested this time. Does much better with his touch. And make sure it doesn't go anywhere near his goal. And in the end, we are going to have a free kick for Spain. And a bit of a moment of nerves there for Croatia. We've seen that back pass again. And luckily his back pass wasn't really as close to the goal. His touch wasn't great. But because it wasn't anywhere near the goal, it was a little bit less nerve-wracking for Livakovic. But you can feel the nerves beginning to jangle for both teams. With how tight that this game has become. It is a very, very tough game to predict. As it looks like here we are going to have a bit of an injury. The stretcher stood on the touchline. Just in case it's needed. It's looking like Jose Guy's going to be alright to get up. Whether he's going to be able to continue or not, I don't know. But we'll have to see. But while they do that, very quickly, don't forget, if you are new to stream, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. If you are new, don't forget to leave that subscription on the channel. We've got another game coming up a little bit later on tonight. You can join KL in about an hour and 20 minutes for the match. But I'm going to stop for a second because they're chanting for Ferran Torres and it's game over. And that is a gift from Croatia with love to Spain. 3-1 game over. And that might have just put Spain into the next round of the competition. And it was the most simplest of finishers that he was ever going to get. And literally, as we were still having a little bit of a drinks break, the play continued. And we're seeing the chance now. It's one long ball into Ferran Torres. It's awful defending. They're completely fast asleep. It allowed Ferran Torres, the most simplest of finishers in the world. He does very, very well with the touch to take himself past Gvardiol. Tucks it into the back of the net. And that should surely send Spain now into the next round of the competition. 3-1. And the result is looking much more comfortable than the game has been. Brilliant, brilliant finish from him. And that's his second goal of the Euros. And surely now the winning goal of this game. And what was going to be an interesting last 15 minutes now looks like it's going to be Croatia bowing out of the tournament and going home. And it's just that moment they switched off with the free kick of the drinks break. And it looks like now Spain are going to make a change. And we're going to see Jordi Alba come on for Jose Gaya. Of course, Gaya with the injury. It looks like. And then another change we're going to see as well is going to see Fabian Ruiz come on and Koke come off for the final 10 to 15 minutes of the match. As Daz is in the building. How are we doing, Daz? Welcome along to the stream. Good evening, Josh. How are you doing today? Doing very good indeed. Thank you very much. And then Michael said, Wales Chris Gunter has criticised the joke setup of Euro 2020 after Wales' last 16 exit against Denmark about playing 3 or 4 games in different countries. Just get on with it. That's all I'll say to him. Just get on with it. No offence. I think you've got to look. There are other teams out there which have travelled long distances and have not complained, and they've still done the business. You know, they don't complain when other teams are going around. As Michael's saying, how is it that some games have water breaks and other matches haven't? So basically, if it goes over 30 degrees in a match, that's when a drinks break is triggered. The only way I think they trigger the drinks break, though, is if the weather is over 30 degrees before a match has started. That's when they can have the drinks break. It's not a case of them deciding it as the game starts. I think they know whether they're having the drinks breaks or not before the game started. As we are going to have two changes here. Budimir and Pasalic coming on. Vlasic is one of the players to go off. And then the other player that's gone off as well is... I'll have to find out in a second who's gone off for the other player. As Des said, Murray 3-2 in games. Not too bad. It's what we like to see. Murray's first Wimbledon in 4 years, I think. And fair play to him, but it's quite an emotional experience to be back on the court again. Here's Morata, though. Gone down. Going to be a free kick. Given away by Domagoj Vida this time. And this could be a chance for Spain to make things even worse and get a fourth if they want. Because it's just on the left wing and in a good position to whip this ball into the box. So we'll have to see what happens in a second with that free kick. See if they can put it into the box and get their a potential fourth goal in the game. But let's find out what happens here. So let's see. 10 minutes left on the clock. This game is pretty much done and dusted, which is a shame because it means there's not much to talk about now. But it's going to be lobbed in by Fabian Ruiz, this free kick. It's a pretty poor free kick, if I'm being honest with you. Really poor. And Jordi Alba will get the ball back and see what he brings to the table for the final 10 minutes, because he is one of those players that I'm very surprised didn't start the match. Very, very quality player of the last generation. Here's Modric, though. 10 minutes left on the clock. Can Budimir be the hero? And can Pasalic be the hero as well? The other change, by the way, was Kovacic coming off. So Kovacic came off for Pasalic. Pretty much a like-for-like change in midfield. But you can see chances-wise. 13 attempts, 6 on target for Spain. 4 attempts, 2 on target for Croatia. They've just not had enough opportunities in this game to get something out of the match. And that will be a real disappointment to Croatia today, because they've not really turned up in this game. And that will disappoint them the most. After getting through the groups, they did have a tough run. They're in the very tough side of the bracket. But it looks like the winners of France and Switzerland tonight are going to be coming up against Spain in the next round. What a game that could be. France versus Spain. Could be a brilliant game. Same could Switzerland versus Spain. That would be a very good game, as well as Kyle has put. One of the pundits said about Wales how they have private jets, classy comfy hotels, relaxing massages so they can't complain. No sympathy for Wales. Cry your wee Welsh tears. You were crap. Yeah, and it'll be the same for us. If we go out of the tournament, there can be absolutely no complaints by any fans that, oh, we deserve to go through, because when you look at the whole outlay of how England have played as well, we haven't played great. I think, to be honest with you, when you actually look at the group stages, Wales played better than us in their group, and their group was tougher than ours, in my opinion, at the very least. And also, more than anything, I think it's one of those where who knows what's going to happen with England. We'll find out tomorrow. There's either going to be a lot of people saying it's coming home tomorrow after we've beaten Germany, or there's going to be a lot of people very upset tomorrow after we've lost to them. There's only 2 outcomes, and one of them is going to have to happen. Hopefully not the latter, as there's a chance here for Croatia to come forward. It's going to be Kramaric. He's got Budimir close to him, but he's gone down. Done really well to keep the ball, actually, Kramaric, but Spain have got the ball back, and in the end, it's going to be a free kick to Spain. And you just feel that this game's fizzled out now, and that Spain are just quite happy to kind of kill the last 7 or so minutes off by pretty much not doing anything. And you can't blame them, because that goal, again, we're seeing it back now, the finish from Ferran Torres. It's absolutely terrible, terrible defending from Croatia. Absolutely terrible defending. And Gvardiol completely mugged off in that situation. Absolutely robbed. And we're going to get a yellow card here. As Cheleta has gone into the book for a bit of a fight between him and Murata. And, well, it looks like Murata might be coming out on top here. Because he'll be the one that goes through to the next round, and Cheleta will not be in the next round. As good to see you are all good, as always. We've about 6 minutes left of this game to go. And that's the shame, isn't it? When you get to these types of games, might be a chance for a fourth here. Because Olmo's in, tries to chip the keeper. Livkovic is aware of it. And gets the ball back. And that would have really killed the game off. Had Olmo chipped the keeper there. But like I was saying earlier, obviously, it's a shame, isn't it? Because when a scoreline's like this, unless you get a goal within the next minute or two, then this game is dead and buried. And you know that Spain are going to win it. They're comfortable enough to sit back and defend. And not, you know, go 3-3 in a game like this. Here's a chance on the wing. Can they get anything from it? Answer is no. Ball goes out of play. And it's a shame, isn't it? Because Brekalo here gets a throw-in. Gets it towards Budimir. Modric is in. Modric is in. He's in the box. And Budimir on the line. He's still not in. Calls for a handball. And he's been given as a free kick to Spain. And they are furiously pro. Oh no, it's a goal. It's been given. It is a goal. And just as we were saying we needed a goal, they've got it. The watch buzzed. And Croatia are back in this game. And it looked like originally the referee had given a free kick to Spain. But then, as he looked like he pointed for the free kick, he then tapped to his watch and says it buzzed. And it is a goal for Croatia. And just seeing who put it in, it was Mislav Orsic. It's rightly given. And literally, we were saying 5 seconds ago how this game's dead and buried. It's not now, because Orsic has put them back in the match. 3-2. Game on with 5 minutes to go. Here we go. This makes it exciting now, doesn't it? And it's rightly given. And VAR is intervening for a potential handball in the build-up to the goal. We'll have to see what happens there, because obviously I didn't really get to see whether it's not. And, well, it doesn't matter anyway, because it's not given as a handball. The goal stands, and with 5 minutes left. We've got a game on our hands, boys and girls. 3-2. What a game this is turning out to be. Who would have thought that this game was going to be the thriller of the round of 16 so far? And can they do it? One more goal would take us to extra time. As Daz, how's Thiago playing? He's not on the pitch, Daz. Chance here, though, for Croatia. Ball's lofted long. It's come to Orsic again. Ball lofted into the box. It's going to be very well defended. And Spain are going to have to defend for their lives now. Because they know that there's going to be an onslaught of Croatian attacks coming their way. And even I thought for a second that that goal wasn't going to count. But he looked at his watch, he tapped it. And he played on. Here's Javadio. Into Orsic. Ball lofted into the box. Tries to get it towards Budimir. It's headed away. Comes back to Modric. Can we get a bit of Modric magic? It's going to be Brozovic. In the middle of the pitch. Not really got anybody to pass it into. Finds Vida. Now to Brekalo on the right wing. I mean, this would be some story, wouldn't it? If we got extra time. Or a winner. Ferran Torres doing well to come back and defend. Pedri coming back as well to defend. He's got the ball and he's going to try and take his man on. Does well. And wins a free kick for Spain. And a chance to just waste a little bit of time for Luis Enrique's side. And we're seeing the goal line technology again. And you can see it's quite clearly a goal. It's well over the line. Right decision. The first time we've actually seen goal line technology used in this competition. But obviously with the amount of bodies in the box, it's very hard to see whether the goal had actually counted or not. But here we go. 3 minutes left. Orsic with his first goal of the tournament. Can they believe? Can they do it? As there's going to be another change for Spain. And it looks like Oyarzabal is going to come on for Ferran Torres. With 3 minutes left of the match. And it was another good game today from Ferran Torres with that goal. And he must have thought that his goal was going to be the winner. And it hasn't, unfortunately. Or it still might be the winner, actually. But for now, it's not the winner just yet. Because I think we will get a little bit of additional time. We'll have to see how much we get. But apparently, Parker's just left Fulham. I know he's on his way to Bournemouth, isn't he? That deal should probably be announced the next day or two, I guess. Interesting, that. that is left Fulham to go to Bournemouth. Very interesting. Here come Croatia again. It's going to be Orsic on the left wing. Ball giving us a throw into Spain. And I tell you what, Orsic has brought some life to this match, hasn't he? Very, very good. As we are now 2 minutes left of the 90. Don't forget, France v Switzerland coming up in about an hour's time with Mr. KL. You can join him for that game, which is going to be an absolute belter, you would hope, at the very least. Teams are out for that match. For those of you wondering who is playing in that game for France and Switzerland, just having a look at the lineups. They are going to be playing Griezmann, Mbappe and Benzema once again. Looks pretty much a very, very similar lineup to the team that played that last game. Longley looks like the only addition to the team from that previous match. So not many changes in that game. But we'll have to find out. We'll talk about that, of course, with Kyle a little bit later on tonight. I'll be in and out of his stream for that game. But we're now into the last 60 seconds of normal time. Apparently, we might have 6 minutes of stoppage time. So a good chunk of time for them to try and get a goal in this game as the ball is lofted along to Orsic. Kyle's saying at least we can rely on goal line technology. No controversy here. Definitely not. We don't need no controversy anymore with goal line technology. Best piece of equipment they've brought to the game as there's a chance for Brekalo, but it's been given as an offside on the Wolfsburg winger. And it's a shame because that could have been a very good chance for them to come forward. But they've got 6 minutes of additional time. Plenty of opportunities to fashion chances in that time, you feel. But can they get it? We haven't, again, and I'll keep saying this, we haven't had a late winner or equaliser in this tournament yet. We haven't had a goal in additional time. Are we going to get one now? With 6 minutes left of the game. And I'll tell you something again. I wonder if Spain will be a little bit disappointed at the fact that somehow, in a game where they've dominated possession again, they just haven't been able to get as many goals on the board as they probably expected to. And if we're being honest, I don't think Croatia have played good at all today either. I think they've been very poor. But they're still in it. And they've still got a chance to get something out of this game as we are now into the 6 minutes of additional time. I mean, I've already answered that question anyway, Daz. 6 minutes. They said it in my ear before I could predict anything, unfortunately, for you lads. So we've got, what, about 5 minutes left of additional time? Unless I would have made a prediction beforehand. Unfortunately, I can't, though, because I already know how much of this time is going to get. There could be a chance here. Taken outside of the box, and what a waste from Kramaric. And the flag had gone up for offside, which makes it less as important. But what a chance that could have been for Croatia. Kramaric disagrees and thinks he's not offside. But it doesn't matter anyway. And we're going to see again. I think it's a very marginal offside. But in the end, it doesn't matter. If the flag goes up. And frustrations will begin to build for Croatia as well. With about 4.5 minutes left. Can they get something from this match? Will we go to extra time? I wouldn't mind a little bit of extra time if I'm being honest with you. Here's Brozovic. In his own half, plays it into Pasalic. What can Pasalic do here? Plays the ball to Orsic on the left wing. He's got numbers in the box. Budimir being one of them. Ball lobbed in. It comes in! And it is in! It's 3-3! And what a brilliant finish from Pasalic! Beautiful from Croatia! 3-3! What a game! And with 4 minutes of time left, is there still a chance for the Croatians to win it late on? Brilliant, brilliant finish. The heart and desire from this side to stay in the game till the very end. And they've got the goal they need. And now, we have a game on our hands. What a match this has been. It's taken them so long to get the threat towards the Spanish goal. But now they have. And I'll tell you something. What a game it is. And what a header from Pasalic. He puts it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's a pitch-perfect delivery from Orsic. And what a finish. What a game. It's 3-3. And extra time and penalties could be on the cards. But we've still got 3 minutes left. And the Croatian fans in Copenhagen go absolutely wild because they are being treated to a European Championships classic. What a game. And there is still time. And well, Pasalic, what a beautiful header. And we said it before, I think there was a chance earlier in the game for Spain where they had a header and all they had to do was put it into one of the two corners and they would have had a goal. And that was the difference with Pasalic's header. But there could be a chance here as there's an opportunity for Olmo. And his chance goes wide of the mark and out of play for a goal kick. Who'd have thought we were going to go to extra time then? What a game it's been. I mean, it's a weird one because Croatia looked dead and buried in this game. And somehow out of nowhere, they've just come out of nowhere. They have brought the character and passion and leadership on the pitch. And now, it's looking like the tables are going to turn. What a game this is. And I tell you something, Kyle. I don't think any of us expected it to end 3-3. And with 2 minutes left of the game, is there time for a winner? It's going to be Spain who come forward. Ball on the right-hand side of the pitch with Yarzabal. Going to try and take on his man. Gvardiol doing very well to defend against him. And now it's Croatia's turn to defend. And that is the first goal we've got in additional time of the Euros, I believe, of this tournament. As, or at least a late equaliser at the very least, I would say. Not injury time. I think we've had one or two. As Michael says, which players' teams have impressed you so far? I will answer that question at the end of the game, only because we've got a chance maybe here for Spain with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. It's going to be Yarzabal. Tries to flick a ball into the box, doesn't come to anyone. We'll come back to Spain again. They really need to get something here because if Spain do get something, obviously it's game over. But I also think we might probably have extra time coming up. Here's Morata. Going to play the ball to Fabian Ruiz. Finds the right-hand side of the pitch with Yarzabal. Now, into the path of Busquets. Back to Yarzabal again. They really need to get the ball into the box here. There's numbers in there. Azpilicueta. Into Yarzabal. Goes for long-range effort. Thinks he's been fouled. Free kick's not given. And it's looking like we're probably going to be going to extra time and penalties here. Potentially. This has been an absolutely unbelievable game. Who would have thought we were going to have all the drama that we have with an end-to-end match? And Yarzabal goes down. No free kick given. 20 seconds left on the clock. It looks like we could be having extra time. 10 seconds left. Ball obviously hoofed long. Orsic going to try and get his head onto it. They have. Might even be one more chance here for Croatia. And that will be that. And that will be that. What a game. One of the most unbelievable games of the European Championship so far. In a match where Croatia looked dead and buried. They were 3-1 down. They've brought it back to 3-3. And extra time and penalties is on the cards for one of the standout games of the European Championships. It's had a little bit of everything. And ultimately, Croatia looking the stronger of the two sides. Now, looking like they could be on course for a potential chance to go through to the next round if they can get something in their game. In the next half an hour, against Spain. But what an incredible, incredible result it could be for them. And of course, with time on their side, they've got half an hour to get something. We should be in for an absolute belter of a 30 minutes of additional time to come. So do stick around, because that is coming up very, very shortly indeed. I will get myself sorted for that. But it looks like I'm going to be doing the graveyard shift. So if by any chance, and I highly doubt he's in here, but if Rowan is in the stream, then is it possible that Rowan could do the lineups for the Spain-Croatia game? That would be, not Spain-Croatia game, sorry, the France-Switzerland game. It would be massively appreciated, or else I'm going to be pushing for time myself. But if not, that is no problem whatsoever, as we are on course for extra time. Do not go anywhere. What an unbelievable game this is. 3-3. Should be probably the best game of the tournament, potentially. And hopefully, let's hope we have a half-time like we did, an extra time, like we did between Italy and Austria. I'll be back in about 2 seconds for extra time. Do not go anywhere. Could be a belter this one. And we are back for extra time and maybe even a penalty shootout between Croatia and Spain. For those of you that are joining, thank you very much. Obviously, taking a quick break before we get into the action in extra time. Take a breather. What a game we have got on our hands. 3-3 between Croatia and Spain. They were 3-1 down with 5 minutes left of the game to go. And they eventually brought it back to 3-3 in what has been probably the classic of the tournament so far. And we are getting treated to another half an hour of action. Scenes we love to see. So get yourselves all comfortable and ready, because this could be a very, very exciting half an hour of action to come. But before we do get underway with extra time, here's a look at what's to come on the channel over the next few days. Don't forget, extra time and penalties potentially looming in this game between Croatia and Spain. Do not go anywhere. We've got France up against Switzerland. You can join Kale for that from 10 to 8 tonight. Should be a brilliant game, that one as well. We've then got England-Germany, the big game on Tuesday. That's at 10 to 5 with Rowan. And then Rowan will be back once again for the final round of 16 match. Sweden take on Ukraine. That's from 10 to 8 on the 29th of June. So you get a double header of Rowan action. And we get more action in this game, because we are now underway with additional time in this game. Sorry, extra time in this game between Croatia and Spain. And who would have thought, with 5 minutes left of the game to go, that Croatia were going to come back from 3-1 down and get themselves to 3-3. Absolutely unbelievable. And when you look at it now, you will surely be thinking to yourselves that all of the intensity of this game, the passion, the drive will be in Croatia's hands. They've brought it back. They look more clinical and ruthless in front of goal. Spain, however, have not looked good at all in terms of the actual last 10 or 15 minutes. Orsic has brought so much off the bench in that last 10 minutes. And you really feel here that Spain, who could have been out of sight, are now finding themselves in a position where Croatia could beat them and boot them out in what has got to be surely one of the most enjoyable games of this tournament. With another half an hour to go, and if it lives up to the hype of the Italy-Austria game, then my lord, we could have a few more goals before the end of it. Could be 5-5 by the time we get to the end of the additional time. We could potentially have a penalty shootout. Who knows? But we'll have to see. As we are underway. Long way to go, isn't there, before we get any hopes of extra time. As ball off towards Orsic on the left wing. He's been the hot wire in this last 10 or so minutes. Here's Kramaric. Gets himself onto the left wing. Ball into the box towards Budimir. It's going to come towards Orsic! And it was so nearly the 4th goal of the game. It was bending. It was dipping. But it didn't dip into the back of the net. And my lord, it was a very good chance in the end. But again, probably another one of the efforts which never really got enough dip on the ball to bring it down. And a real shame indeed, because for a second there, it looked like we were about to see Orsic get the all-important goal to put Croatia into the lead in this game. And unfortunately for now, it won't. But they're still going to have plenty of time to get the next goal in the game. Here's Yazbal into Morata. Push down, free kick, not going to be given. And Croatia will continue. It's going to be Gvardiol. It goes down, and it will be a Croatian free kick this time. Just past the halfway line. And I think Morata there will probably be complaining to the ref that he didn't get a free kick 2 minutes ago. But Busquets having to foul Gvardiol there, because it looked like they were going to be throwing goal for a little bit. Had Gvardiol have been able to get past his man. But Spain are going to have to deal with the pressure now, because it's them who have been... sorry. Can't get my fucking words out. It's them who are under pressure now. They're the ones who we're going to have to defend. As Diraj is in the building. How are you doing? Welcome along to the stream. He's put, hi bro, how are you? I'm doing very good indeed. Hopefully you're all good, Diraj, as well. Welcome along. Hopefully you've enjoyed this game. As Brekalo tries to whip a ball into the box. Eventually blocked in the end by Dani Olmo. And Croatia will get the ball back. And for all of the possession that Spain had, they just now don't seem to be able to get anything going in this game at all. As there's a ball lobbed over the top. It's going to come towards Budimir. He was chasing the ball. There's calls for a handball. I don't think that's going to be given. And it'll be a free kick given to Spain anyway. Obviously, VAR will check it just in case. But Modric has given the foul away. And in the end, I don't think there'll be any checks for the penalty either. As we're just seeing, Modric absolutely clatters into Pedri. It goes straight down onto the floor, and then we're seeing the call for the handball as well, which it didn't hit his hand. Hit his head rather than his hand, and it'll be a free kick for Spain anyways. Diraj has asked, are you supporting Croatia? I wouldn't say I'm really supporting either side. I'm just watching it as a neutral and appreciating a very good game that we've got. But in the back of my head, I'd like to see Croatia go through with the way that they've played. I personally think that how this game's gone, they deserve something out of it. I think Spain have fizzled out in this game, and they're not playing with the same intensity and the same intentions as they had in the first half. While Croatia look very, very lively. And I would love to see them go through, but here's Fabian Ruiz into Yarzabal on the right wing inside the box. Tries to lob a ball in, but it goes straight into the hands of Livakovic. And a comfortable save indeed, as apparently Andy Murray's got 1-0 up in sets, which is good to see. That's a big positive for Andy. As we are already 5 minutes into extra time in this game. And very quickly, I'm just going to ask Rowan if he could do the lineups, I think. I'm going to stop for a second, though, because Orsic is in. Ball's in. He's still in the box. It's bobbling. He's saved by Unai Simon. What a brilliant save from him. And that was a chance from Kramaric. And for the mistake that he made earlier, Unai Simon, that is an outstanding save. Absolutely outstanding save from the Bilbao keeper. And it could have and should have surely been 4-3. Brilliant, brilliant save indeed. Just turn that down very slightly so I don't burst your eardrums, because I probably did with the goal earlier on. Here's the Arzabal, though, as Michael says, it just shows you how tough England's group was. By the way, the Czech Republic and Croatia have played in knockout stages against Holland and Spain, and both of those teams are looking absolutely outstanding. And there is a real chance that 3 teams from our group could all make the semis, or the quarters at least. Here's Orsic, though. He's putting a real menacing fight up against Fabian Ruiz, and he comes out on top. Here's Pasalic, the goal scorer, to get him back into the game. Now Kramaric shifts the ball to the right-hand side, to Brekalo. Tries to feed the ball to Modric. It's a poor pass in the end, and Spain get it back. And now they're going to have to try and drive forward. Here's Dani Olmo on the ball. Goes down. Going to be a free kick to Spain. And rightly given. In what has been a superb game, but we're seeing that chance again from, I think it was Kramaric. What a save it was. Gets himself down low. It goes from his arm onto his leg, but I'm stop for a second because there's a chance here for Dani Olmo. Brilliant block by Chaleta. What a block to keep his man out. And Spain will get a corner. And this again is looking like it's a very lively extra time, like Italy and Austria was, end to end. And Rowan Sport, I can get them done for you. Ali Melman Cross, you're a fucking legend, Rowan. Thank you so much, because if not time-wise, I'm going to be struggling. But no, you're a legend. Absolute shagger. Thank you so much. But what a save from Unai Simon. What a block from Chaleta. Corner now for Spain. I am sweating like an absolute animal, because this game is just end to end. It's beautiful to watch. And this is why we love the Euros. So what can Spain do here with a corner? Ball going to be lofted into the box. Very, very poor cross in the end. Cheaply cleared away by Croatia. And they've just got a chance here to calm the play down. I'm so glad I picked this game in the end. I was really worried we were just going to see Spain consistently pass the ball around and it'd be a boring game. But it's been such a good watch. Such a good game, as Dad says. I think my bets tomorrow will be Sterling to score first and for us to win 3-0. I tell you what, Daz, if you've got the belief we're winning 3-0, then I'm joining the hype train. Because if we win 3-0, there's going to be a party in England. That's for sure. But as I said, I think for me, that is the most impossible England v Germany game to predict ever. In fact, you could arguably say it's the most impossible game to ever predict for England. I've got no idea what's going to happen. We could get thumped. We could lose by 4. We could thump them by 4. Who knows? Who knows? But here comes Spain. It's going to be Busquets. Plays the ball into Fabian Ruiz. Now onto the right-hand side to Dani Olmo, who gets himself inside the box. Ball played towards Pedri, doesn't get towards him. And Croatia defend expertly, with pretty much every man possible back to try and stop the Spain pressure, which is really starting to build. This game is on a knife's edge, I think you could quite easily say. Here's Pedri. Now to Busquets. Ball fed towards Fabian Ruiz. Here's Pau Torres, who is well and truly up the pitch now, as you'd expect all the players to be. Pedri on the right wing. Plays it to Jordi Alba on the left. So nerve-wracking, isn't it? And there's a chance here for the ball to be played towards Oyarzabal. Poor pass in the end from Fabian Ruiz. Poor touch then from Modric. And Spain get the ball back again. As Daz says, it depends on what the lineup is tomorrow. I'm going to ask the same question to you, Daz, as what Michael did. Do you think we'll play three at the back tomorrow and match them up? You'll have to tell us, but there's a chance here for Morata. Ball's in, Morata! Brilliant finish from Morata! What a finish! Outstanding from a man who has had so much hate and controversy built around him. Might have just scored the winning goal. 4-3. What a finish. And what a game. And that could send Spain through to the next round. What a finish. And a man, as I said before, who, you've got to say, has had so much hate built towards him over this tournament, might just be about to come the hero. And with 20 minutes left of extra time, what a finish. He takes the ball down. He absolutely levers it. Puts it down from his left to right foot. Hits it on the half volley. Strikes through the ball into the top right-hand corner. Lovely technique. Lovely finish. 4-3. Croatia have got all the work to do again if they want to take this to penalties or win the game. What a brilliant, brilliant match this is. 4-3. And Luis Enrique, you can see him on the touchline. Pure jubilation and joy for his side. And it looks like we are going to get a change as well. I think Rodri's coming on. But what a way to silence your critics. By banging a goal like that. And as I said, we are going to get a change now. Rodri coming on. Busquets coming off. And with 20 minutes left, they've got it all to do again, Croatia. Can they do it again? Unbelievable. Goals left, right and centre. And I'm so gutted because I had this game on both teams to score in both halves. But the ref didn't bring out the cards. Gutted. But what will they do now? You'd expect Spain to maybe try and get another goal in this game and kill it off and make it 5-3 and end it once and for all. But you just don't know that the way that this game is going to go. The pendulum consistently swinging in this game. And I think there'll be one or two more chances for them. But they've dug deep, Croatia. They're going to have to dig even more deeper in this game if they want anything from it. Or else it looks like, again, we're not going to be getting a penalty shootout, which sucks. Here's Orsic, though, on the left wing. Ball tried to feed it towards the path of Pasalic. Doesn't get to him in the end. But Croatia have got the ball back. Kramaric at the edge of the box. Levers it. But straight into the hands of Unai Simon. Who will be very glad that he's able to comfortably put that into his hands. And Kramaric looks so much more lively since Orsic has come on. And he has been testing Unai Simon. That's the second chance the game he's tested him. But they just need to get that goal. But here's a chance for Spain now. And it's Dani Olmo. Ball lofted into the box. Could be a chance here for Oyarzabal. He's in and it's a brilliant finish. And that is that. And surely now Spain will be going through to the next round. It's Mikel Oyarzabal. And that might just send Croatia packing. It's 5-3. And Spain now looking to enjoy themselves in extra time. And they have come alive at the right time. And it looks like now this game's going to be all done and dusted. 5-3. And it was Morata again who's had a superb game. What a ball from Dani Olmo. You see Oyarzabal, he's onside. Brilliant touch. Comfortable, simple finish. Into the bottom right-hand corner. And surely now, Croatia can't do it again, can they? They'd have to score 2 to take us to penalties. If they do that, I'm probably going to honestly just pass out on stream if that happens. But It's looking like it's game over. But you can't write them off. You don't know what's going to happen. It's a crazy game. What's going on? It's mental. You feel like it's over. But you just feel if Croatia were to get a goal, probably in the first 5 minutes of extra time in the second half, you can't rule them out. But either way, there's a minute left here of the first half of extra time. And now Croatia are going to have to go for it. I said I thought Spain would go and get that second goal to kill the game off. I think they're now going to shut up shop and just defend the rest of the game. But Croatia have got to break them down, and they're going to have to push every man forward and see if they can get a fourth goal in this game on what is a European Championship classic. Here's Modric into Brekalo. He's going to move the ball onto the right-hand side of the pitch. Chaletakar. Going to feed the ball long towards Orsic. Doesn't get to him, Orsic in the end, but Croatia will get the ball back. Here's Javadio. Ball played towards Orsic. Now Kramaric. Back to Orsic again. Good defending at the back by Spain. As Michael says, 10 goals in 2 matches, which is mad, because they couldn't score 4 matches ago when they played Sweden. They had no idea how to put the ball in the back of the net, and now they do. Oh, there's a mistake here at the back, though. Morata could be in. This could be a 6, and he's in for on goal. It could be Morata. Takes on his man, and he's brilliant defending in the end. And Vida, he's so lucky that Morata didn't get the goal that would have really killed any dreams of a Croatia comeback. And now you could surely say, as we are into the, minute of additional time for the first half of extra time, that there are frailties beginning to build in the Croatian back line. And they've just got to make sure here that they hold on in the last 30 seconds, or else if it is 6-3, then they're out. As Spain will hold the ball for the final 25 seconds of the first half of extra time. And I'll tell you something. What a 15 minutes of action. They've pretty much done what Italy did in extra time and come to life. And I'll tell you something, they've been under some pressure in this game to get something. With 6 seconds left of extra time. And the referee will blow the whistle. And, well, Dalic is going to have to put in the team talk of his life. Because this game was 3-3 at half-time. At full time. They're now 2 goals down again in this game, Croatia. And they need to get something. They need 2 goals minimum. They need to do what Spain did in the first half of extra time to have any hope of taking us to a penalty shootout. I don't know if they can do it or not, but of course they've got a moment here to have a team talk, to have a quick drinks break, to all get together and see what they can do in extra time. But while we do have a quick break here for the moment, I just want to say, if you are new to the stream, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. If you are new, we are covering every single Euro 2020 game on the channel. So if you don't want to watch the games, or if you are watching them and you want to, of course, see live reaction for the matches, come and join us. We've got a brilliant community of people on the channel, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's game, because it's an absolute pile driver of a match. This will be the standout game of the tournament. I don't think we're going to get a better game than this, if I'm being honest with you. So, honestly, sit down, breathe it in, take in the moment, because this is a game that will go down in long memory, I think. And we've still got 15 minutes left of it. But before we do get back into the second half, here's a quick look at what's still to come on the channel today. We've got the second half of extra time coming up in a moment in this game between Croatia and Spain. You can then join KL and myself. I'll be jumping in and out of the stream for France up against Switzerland. That'll be live in about half an hour's time. You don't want to miss out on that. England against Germany, that's at 10-5 with Rowan tomorrow. Big game that one's going to be, should be a cracker of a match. And then the final round of 16 games sees Sweden up against Ukraine. That's at 10-8 tomorrow. Rowan once again on a double bill of Rowan action. And that is, as I said, the final game of the round of 16. And hopefully we have some more absolute crackers on the cards in the round of 16, because this one is the best of the bunch. And as both teams get themselves back organised and ready, surely there is no more twists in the tale. Has the book closed? Has the chapter finished for Croatia in this competition? Or is there time for any more late drama? Because we're about to get underway with the second half of additional time. And as I said before, if we get a late twist in this game, I think I will probably pass out live on the stream and Kale will have to do it on his own because right now, this is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers indeed. Here we go, though. Referee, about to get the game underway. And we are now underway with the second half of extra time. What can happen in this game? Let's find out. Surely no more drama. I just need to very quickly check something. I'm panicking. I've just not made a... I have made it. It's alright. I thought I hadn't made the stream for later on. I have. I thought for a second we weren't going to have a stream because I've not made it. But either way, here's Orsic into... Oh, could be a chance here. Budimir's in! Oh, Budimir's missed it! That was the chance! Oh, what an opportunity for Ante Budimir of Osasuna. He has to score. He should score. And it's a brilliant chance, and he hits it low. He hits it into the ground, and you think it's going in to the bottom right-hand corner. And it should have. And just like Austria in their game, they had a chance in the first 30 seconds of extra time that they should have scored. And Croatia have a similar opportunity. And had it have been 5-4, we could have been in for a right 15 minutes. And there might still be a chance now. Ball lofted long. And Croatia will get a corner. Can they make the most of it? They've got players that can play it. It's going to be played short. Orsic tries to lob it into the box. Sorry, it's blocked by Oyarzabal. And Croatia will get the ball back again. What a chance for Budimir. Surely there's no more drama. It's going to be Livakovic on the ball. It's going to hoof it up the pitch. They just haven't given up today. Here's Budimir on the ball. Going to play it into Orsic. It's going to be a 3-on-4. Orsic going to go on his own here. And good defending in the end by Pau Torres, who keeps tight to his man and just makes sure that he doesn't get away. And talking about getting away, there could be a chance here for Morata, but brilliant defending from Chaleta Carr. Brozovic slips and is giving the ball away. Here's Fabian Ruiz. It's a 5-on-4. And Fabian Ruiz still going. Tries to play the ball to Dani Olmo. Doesn't get it to him. Comes back to Fabian Ruiz again. Now Dani Olmo on the right wing. And Spain just slowing the play down. And calming it down. For the final 13 minutes of the match. As Rowan said, he sent it. Thank you very much, Rowan. You're a legend. God bless you, man. Massively appreciated. As the ball is with Unai Simon. They'll be playing it around the back. And you just feel that could have been an opportunity and a half for Croatia. What a crazy game. Tubbs is in the building. What a crazy game. And who said I didn't get thrillers? I got another one. You love to see it. I don't know what it is, Tubbs, but my luck in the Euros has been unbelievable when it comes to having good games. And here comes Spain again. It's going to be Pedri. Lovely long ball. Trying to get it towards Jordi Alba. He can't get a touch. And in the end, it'll go out of play for a Croatia throw-in. And you just feel, if they want to get something in this game again, they need to score, preferably in the next 5 minutes. Or else it's all done and dusted. It's going to be Domagoj Vida in his own half. Got nobody to play the ball towards. Eventually Pasalic comes back to get it. Now Modric, who's hacked down. No free kick given. And it will be a Spain throw-in, I think. Oh no, Croatian throw-in, sorry. Just close towards the halfway line. And, I mean, there's a lot of players on the pitch now where the legs are gone. They are using every last ounce of energy in their body to get something in this game. And you can quite clearly see, obviously, Orsic being one of the fresher legs and Pasalic, they are the two where the ball is being directed towards. With 12 minutes left here, it's going to be Brozovic at the halfway line. Hasn't really got anybody to play the ball into. Lofted long towards Vida. Not going to get to him. Spain get the ball back. It's going to come towards the path of Rodri. Now to Yarzabal. And Spain just slowly passing the ball around the pitch now. And comfortably stroking towards victory. Which will be a real shame indeed. Ball going to be played back to Unai Simon. Good pass this time. Takes a good touch. After the terrible first goal which opened the game up. As Tubbs' sister just got in, wifey just left. But I have been watching the game from the start. Thank God you said you've watched it from the start. Because I tell you, if you'd said you hadn't, I'd have been gutted for you. Unai's epic blunder has been forgotten. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's been forgotten. As Morata goes down, I think he's gone down with cramp. And I think we'll see a fair few players go down with cramp with 10 minutes left of this match. What a game. I mean, the sad thing is, I'm not even going to have time to really talk through it at the end, because once this game is done, I've probably got about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're live again for another one. So, it's a shame. It's a shame, but 10 minutes left here of additional time. Spain 5. Croatia 3. Spain apparently have just become the first team in history to score 5 goals in back-to-back games, which is crazy. But can they do it? Here's Modric, going to play the ball into Brozovic at the halfway line. And you can just see the drive and the energy of the game is starting to seep out of these players. Ball's lofted long towards Budimir. Header's not going to get towards anyone. Eventually, Jordi Alba gets back and gets the ball. Of course, another one of the fresher players on the pitch with the substitution. Pau Torres, header away has been poor. Modric thinks he can drive forward, but Fabian Ruiz does very well to get the ball back. And as Tubbs has asked, best game of the tournament so far, absolutely yes. Has to be. Best game of the tournament so far. Unbelievable game. Here's Fabian Ruiz. On the left wing, going to play the ball back to Jordi Alba. You can see now no real sense of urgency for Spain to drive forward and get another goal. They're quite happy to keep the ball. And well, if there's one team in the world that's good at keeping the ball, it usually is Spain. And that's all they've got to do for the last 9 minutes to see the game out. And they will have a spot in the next round to face either one of France or Switzerland. Of course, we'll know who that is tonight, with KL covering that game. I think I'm going to need to have a breather for a few hours after this match. I think KL might be doing it on his own at this rate. I'll have to have a bit of time to breathe, because this has been a ludicrous game. Here's Fabian Ruiz in the middle of the pitch, going to play it towards Jordi Alba. Back to Fabian Ruiz again, into Jordi Alba. Slowly just passing the ball around, patiently, not even building up. They're just patiently passing it around because they know they've not really got to do anything with it. As Tubbs says, fun fact, Budimir is Boromir and Faramir is long-lost brother. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Where's Peter? Spain just passing it around again. You can see the tired legs of Croatia. They just can't press anymore. And they've just got to hope that somehow a pass goes wayward. An opportunity comes to them. And there might be a chance now. Here's Brozovic. Ball cleared away by Rodri, who very luckily gets it back to Spain again. Now Fabian Ruiz just passing it around. And unfortunately, we are now at that stage of the game where unless Croatia do get a goal, this is pretty much going to be 7 minutes of Spain passing it around and doing nothing with it. So let's just hope, as a neutral, that the ball's given away. Although saying that, this could be the chance for the 6th. Jordi Alba tries to play the ball in towards Yarzabal. Handball given on Vida. And I think they'll probably play this fairly quickly and just pass it around the back, as Croatia will see another change. Luka Modric coming off and Ivanisevic coming on. Could that potentially be one of the final times we see Modric in a Croatian shirt? I think we'll see him at the World Cup next year. But what a performance from him. He's played very well in this game. And I mean, it's been an unbelievable match. As Michael, has put Spain, they are the first team. I thought they were. That's what I heard a moment ago. First team to score 5 back-to-back goals. Crazy, isn't it? But there might be a chance here for Yarzabal. Ball played towards him, but a little bit too heavy. And Livakovic saves the ball. And Ivanisevic comes on, another winger in the game. I think you just probably want to feed the ball towards him and Orsic now for the rest of the match. Try and see if you can get a ball towards them. Hope that their shooting boots are on, which we know. For Orsic, the shooting boots are on. Here's Budimir. Now Brekalo. Gonna get the ball back here, Croatia. They've got to make the most of the possession that they've got, because they're not going to get much of it in this second half. They've got 6 minutes left. They need to score, and preferably now, if they want any hope of getting it 5-5. Poor ball in the end. It's given away, and Spain get the ball back with Unai Simon, and that will probably be one of the last chances they get of this game. But they tried so hard, didn't they, Croatia? Credit to them, to go from 3-1 down to make it 3-3. They crumbled at the end a little bit, but my lord. Two teams that we said at the beginning of this game had not played great in the group stages, have played some mesmerising football in this game as Spain come forward again. It's going to be Dani Olmo this time. Just slows the play down the right wing. Plays the ball into Rodri. Now to Fabian Ruiz. He's going to switch it to the left-hand side to Jordi Alba. And Spain will pass it back. It's a real shame, isn't it, for the neutral that this is the way that it ends. But you can't take away from what was a class match. Absolutely class match. And now there might be a chance here for Morata to get a second because the ball's come all the way towards him. Morata could be in here for the 6th. He's onside. He's in. And it hits the side netting. And Livakovic makes the save. And he's fuming with Chileta. I think he thinks that it should be a penalty because he crashed into him. But the referee just telling Morata to calm down. And I think it might be a corner. And it will be a corner in the end. Good save from Livakovic. And Tubbs has asked who's doing the France-Swiss game. It is KL, yes. I would say, I think I'll probably be jumping in and out. But probably not a great deal. After that match, I'll probably take a breather. So I'll probably jump in at half-time and such. But yeah, KL will be covering that game next. So we'll be getting all that set up. We should be live around about 10 to for that match. So gives me about 10 or 15 minutes to have a quick breather. As Spain do get a corner. And they're going to play it short to Jordi Alba. Back to Dani Olmo again. Who actually looks for a chance to go through on goal. Back to Alba on the left wing. Now Rodri. Into Pedri. And Spain will play it back to the halfway line. And just run the clock down even more. With a brilliant, brilliant game. As Tubbs says, the Xhaka bias. Don't say that to him in the stream. He'll not be happy. I think for that game as well, I want to have a look at the lineups. Apparently, yeah, they are. France are playing 3 at the back, which is a very interesting shout. They're matching up pretty much to a similar formation that... in fact, they are matching up formation-wise with Switzerland, which should make for a fairly interesting game, if I'm being honest with you. But that game coming up, as I said, kick off in half an hour for that one. So we haven't got long left to wait till the next game, which is great. But we'll have to see what goes on. Is that, yes, there might be a bit of a backing for Switzerland from KL. But here's the Arzabal on the wing. Going to play the ball back. Now it's going to come to Jordi Alba. Here's Rodri. And once again, the ball played back to the halfway line for Spain. And you feel, as I said before, the game is completely fizzled out. There is no real chance now for Croatia to get anything in this match. But fair play to them. They can go out of the tournament and be proud of the team for what they've done. They scored 3 goals in a game and still didn't go through. And that's a huge respect to Croatia because they played so well in this match. But in the end, obviously, tired legs have allowed Spain to get the goals. And of course, they've got a lot of quality on the pitch, Spain, as well. And they've done so well in this match. As Croatia do get the ball back, might be an opportunity maybe to get a chance of a slim hope of a consolation goal, I guess it would be now with 2 minutes left. Here's Brekalo. Ball lobbed into the box, comes towards Budimir. Does get a header on it. Unai Simon then claims the ball. And he will no doubt comfortably stay on the floor for a few more seconds to run the clock down. And very unlucky because Budimir there. A few chances in this game to maybe get something. And unfortunately, especially in this second half, he will be absolutely ruining the miss that he had in the first 30 seconds of the second half of extra time as Spain come forward again. Here's Oyarzabal. Plays the ball onto the right wing to Dani Olmo. Morata's in the box. Ball up towards him. Chileta clears it away. Comes back to Dani Olmo again. And with a minute and a half left, I don't think we're going to get much additional time, if any, because the ball's barely been out of play, for being honest. Because Spain have just passed it about. And this is a very good masterclass in how to kill time off in a game when you're leading and you just need to win it. They've done very, very well to stroke the ball around the pitch. They haven't really had to attack. They don't need to. And they've done so well to just pass it around and kill the game off as Croatia know themselves that they're out in about a minute's time. But it's had everything in it, this game. It's had drama. It's had comebacks. It's had mistakes. It's had everything you could want in a game. And it has been one of the best games I think there's been at the European Championships. And there might be a chance here for the 6th goal. And there's a chance here for Oyarzabal. who's in. Brilliant touch from Yarzabal. Lays it off to Dani Olmo, who takes everybody on. Hits the post. Comes to Yarzabal. Good save again from Livakovic. He'll come towards Morata, who tries to take on the shot. It doesn't come towards him. And there might be a chance again here for Fabian Ruiz. He's in the box. Fabian Ruiz tries to curl it. Goes out of play. And well, I think 6 would have been unjust for Croatia. But a really good chance from Yarzabal. Could have gone for the shot himself. Gave it to Dani Olmo. He hits the post. Then had the chance himself. And so unlucky there. As we are into the additional time. I don't think there'll be any of it, to be honest with you. As Tubbs says, Spain would be out of legs for the next game. France or Switzerland will be licking their lips. And I think they will be. Unless they've got extra time themselves. Then maybe they won't be. But a minute of additional time added on. We've got 40 seconds left. On the best game of the European Championships. And you could probably say one of the best games of all time. And there might be a chance here for the 6th. Because Morata's through on goal. He's on the left-hand side of the near post. Takes on the shot. Hits the side netting. But it would have been offside anyway. So it wouldn't have counted. And that might be that. And what a game from Morata as well. He's been exceptional today. Really, really worked hard in this match. And I will have to say that is going to be a match I will remember for a long, long time. I am so grateful I picked this game. I didn't think it was going to be as dramatic as it was. But it's lived up to the hype and better. In what has been a special, special match. And that is the full-time whistle on one of the best European Championship games you will probably see this decade. An unbelievable match with drama left, right and centre. It had everything. An own goal, a comeback, dramatic late goals, extra time winners. It had everything you could want in a match. And although Croatia do bow out, they'll be disappointed that they're going out. They should also be so proud of themselves because they gifted us an unbelievable match full of high-octane drama. As for Spain, they become the first side in history to score 5 goals back-to-back in the European Championship. And most importantly, they go through to the next round to face the winners of tonight's game, which is France or Switzerland. But overall, what a match! It will not be one we will forget very lightly and very quickly. It ends Croatia 3, Spain 5. What a game. What a game for the neutral. Absolutely incredible. And as much as I would love to sit here and talk through the game and everything, of course, we have got another stream coming up in about 10 minutes' time. So I'm going to say a big massive thank you to you all. If you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. As I said before, we've got another game coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes' time. You can join KL for that match as France take on Switzerland in the round of 16. We'll be live with that game in about 15 minutes' time with all the build-up for that. And then the final round of 16 games, England up against Germany. That's at 10-5 with Rowan tomorrow. What a game that one could be. And then the last round of 16 games see Sweden up against Ukraine. That is at 10-8 tomorrow. Should be a very good game indeed. If you want to check out our social media links, as always, to see when we are live on the channel, our Twitter is at @the_top corner. And our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do go and check those out if you haven't already to see when we do go live with our Euro content. But for now, what a game. That will be one of the best games I think you are going to see for a long, long time in the European Championships. I will be back with KL in about 15 minutes' time. KL's going to be covering the game mostly. I'll be there to build up to the match and talk through half-time and stuff. But as for now, I will see you in a very short 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you shortly.